Jesus. Order gifts. A illustration to Johnny Depp. Is
Oh,
that
this is sorry, this is a completely random tangent, but y'all know that One Piece meme screenshot where it says the slander is so good I could die. Is that a real panel in the manga?
I don't think I've seen that.
Definitely no one's ever said this slander is so good in One Piece. I can assure you that.
Okay, okay. If that
Oh
was
yeah,
real, I
yeah.
think I would have needed to start reading One
Is
Piece.
Pirates of the Caribbean Johnny Depp's biggest movie, bro? Would people say that?
I think yes. I think yeah.
Yeah, at this point, probably. He was in Edward Scissorhands. That's the other one that jumps to my mind. I
Yeah,
don't think
same
that's
for
that
me,
as
but
big anymore.
That's another movie they made us watch in high school for some reason.
y'all's high school. I swear. Why y'all watching the Edward Scissorhands of all movies?
It goes into the precedence of the life of a nuanced figure. Write a paper about it.
I forgot he was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Not true, yeah.
Oh, Sweeney Todd, yeah. Yeah, it's got to be Parts of the Caribbean, I think.
Your next would probably say something else, but they're outnumbered.
I forgot to go through stuff that's been consumed that I might want to get talked about. There's all this stuff about how do you say it? Kalshi? Kalshi? I kind of have thoughts on that, but it's maybe not really fun conversation. The Bulls are absolutely awful for some reason.
Shocking. No one saw this coming.
I mean, what's the point of like giving some hope? And to be honest, I kind of called it because the first five or so teams they faced were kind of like bums. Although I think they since then lost some of those teams, so I can't really slander them too much.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that 6-1 start was fake as hell, but I will say Giddy has been pretty good, better than I thought he was. So I guess y'all got that going for you? Question mark.
I really,
But
even though I am super realistic when it comes to the Bulls, I for a second low key did think they could have what did the Warriors have that one year? It was like 73 and something or something.
dog, there's no way you actually like the Bulls going 500 would be an accomplishment. That's actually funny.
Crunchyroll's doing some BS. The Diddy documentary is out. People are talking about that a lot.
You know what, Quest?
Hmm.
I think the Shy is gonna be a Harold Hater.
Herald. Yeah. Why you say that?
I feel like I feel like that will be his disposition based on based on previous opinions about characters in general.
Yeah, it's always weird when there's like a pretty noticeable distinction of how I see a character and how other people see a character. Because not that I need to, you guys know I exclusively a lot of times don't want to be where everyone else is thinking, but I it just makes me wonder like, am I missing something? Like, am I misinterpreting something?
Yeah.
Um, you probably win it. He goes, do you know about this R&B artist Jay Don?
Jidon.
Jaydon.
Jay. I'm thinking of Dijon. Sorry, Jaydon. No.
To be honest, I don't even necessarily think they're our greatest cup of tea. I would just because the reason why I know about them is because they Chris Brown recommended them,
Oh
and
Lord.
what you call it. The reason why I even found that interesting is because I think I low key there's like a whole like laundry list of reasons why I think hip hop just doesn't feel as like enthusiastic these days. And I think another element is that like people aren't really, and I know it's the corniest thing in the world, but who like people are really getting cosigns like in the early 2010s, like it was a super big thing when someone would get like a Kanye cosign, a Kendrick cosign, so on and so forth, a J Cole cosign, but like
Yeah, I guess now that you mention it,
nobody really like you just got to make it on your own these days.
yeah, I think because the last person I can think of that Kendrick really co-signed was freaking Baby
Baby King,
Keem. Cole, I guess you could say he co-signed JID
JD,
in a manner.
Cause,
But yeah, I guess
think that's
Drake is ironically probably the artist most known for cosigns in his own way. But I know he's gone away from that after the
yeah.
beef.
To be honest, like obviously some of these things were in play before like the beef, but I think that definitely exacerbated like some of the like division in hip hop.
Yeah, like now that you mention it, all these like the not the obviously not the upper mainstream, but like Joey Badass was it. But who was Joey co-sign?
And the
Like
crazy
I can
part is,
think of a few memes.
I don't
Like
want to speak as if these things aren't happening at all. I'm sure if I literally follow Joey Badass's page, he's definitely said, "Hey, check out this random artist from Brooklyn." It's just it used to be like a bigger thing.
yeah, that is true. Like
I think low
the
key that was
biggest.
like, and I guess it's more so a personal thing, but that is how I got hip to like some new artists.
Yeah, that is a valid take.
You want to hear something sad? The last the last coastline that I peeped and checked out was Dame Dash co-signing, co-signing this young lady, and you can already tell. I mean, without me even saying, you can already tell.
Oh my gosh, are you talking
how
about that white girl?
yes, how he described her.
That was so dumb, dude.
He describes her as a if I quote it correctly, a lesbian Aaliyah.
All right, right.
Who was he talking
Yo,
about?
he's so stupid for
I
that.
What's he
don't
one.
talking
I don't
about?
even remember her name. I think I did end up checking out a song or two, but
Yeah, everybody went over to because it was
it
after
was so unjust.
Mickey
the
Licky.
interview. Yeah,
Yeah, the Breakfast.
it was
Club.
after the interview.
How did
The
I not
Breakfast
hear
Club.
about this, bro?
The crazy part
Oh,
is
this is
Again.
after that? Yo.
the crazy part is he actually did another interview with another platform, and that's where I first he did it again on Breakfast Club, but that was the first place I heard about her. He did another interview and he said the exact same thing. So he's going on this promotion run, saying
Right.
this consistently. And
Yeah, everybody in the comments for her videos was like, we all came over from the interview to hear this trash. Like, what is this?
Yeah, that was.
Damn. It was
I
bad
definitely,
too.
I definitely wish them the best, but that's. It's so many things wrong with that, and it's almost like again. Well, I think there should be a space. I'm not saying like every artist should come up on a cosign. I think there should be a space for that, but in the same vein, I can see why people are kind of straying away from that because look at what that cosign did.
Well, just don't co-sign garbage. Like it can't be that hard.
They're not 100% garbage. It's just your cosign shouldn't be this person's as good as Aaliyah, and also they this is their sexual uh attraction. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, all that to being said, audio checks. Ace, do a quick test.
Check, check, check. How do I sound? How do I sound? Loud enough, too quiet.
Yeah, probably definitely says
Echoey.
serviceable. Definitely say serviceable. You still have all that crap? Sorry, all that stuff in your room.
Yep,
Gotcha,
the
gotcha.
boxes.
What about you, Ghost?
Check, 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 check.
Yeah, everything sounds kosher. I can't identify the location of the mic, but it's what it is. And then how about myself? I played around with some of the setup, but how do I sound? Is the volume at acceptable level? Am I coming in clear?
Yep.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Well, everybody look alive, just like Block Boy. And give me 1 second. Hmm. Okay. And Ace, when you get a second, just check the stream, make sure it's running fine.
Yep.
Freaking Arby's of all things. Sorry. All right, let me go here. Hopefully it looks all right, but I always have a feeling that the screens might be slightly messed up. No, everything is where it should be. Nice. So you know what that means. All right. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, everyone. We're back. Welcome back to the B1 and B Field podcast. We have not everyone here, but we do have most of the family, the crew, the guys. We got Ace.
What's up?
We got Ghost.
Yo.
We got myself, QuestLando. Guys, how we all doing? How we all feeling?
Pretty good.
Decent.
The standard answers. And I myself am feeling pretty great, blessed, obviously just appreciative to be here. Although it has been a little while. How do I intro these things? Well, one, um, yeah, at time of recording, early December. Hope everyone's staying warm. It's definitely that season that I feel as if most people have experienced some level of snow, which we're gonna be talking about a little later. So people are gonna have to be outside extensively. My heart definitely goes out to like all the crossing guards. Obviously all the like the laborers that have to be outside. I was just at this garage the other day, and there was like this one lone security guard that was had to be outside. Man, but random weather stuff aside, to get the podcast intro stuff out the way real quick. One, thank you if you do stop by / find our podcast. Make sure you like the video or whatever they say. And some of the reasons why you should like it, one, because it supports us, but we also provide not just interesting, dope conversations and topics, but we also provide new music. Yes, if you are in the business of finding some new artists to listen to, some new records to listen to, maybe your playlist is looking a little stale. Well, look no further than in the description below. You'll find a Spotify playlist for all the songs that we are recommending this particular week. And even though I get a little aggy about it, you definitely gotta give a lot of appreciation to folks like Ghost who bring a whole bunch of new songs. So you're not just getting one type of sound. You're definitely a lot of different options if you're looking for new music. Also, if you want things to be a bit more edited, definitely recommend you check back after we're done and we do a bit of editing, which you'll be able to find again a little bit of editing on the video, the entire podcast video, and you'll also be able to find timestamps, which I know a lot of people appreciate, because if you want to just kind of go around the video and kind of look at what we're talking about, see what interests you the most, that will be there after the podcast. And if you're just more not really in tune with listening to a whole like 2 hour plus video, we get it. So if you go to our channel and go to the videos tab, we definitely implore you to check that out, because that's where you'll be able to find all of our videos for all of the topics that we discussed throughout the podcast. And yeah, we drop those, typically a week, sometimes weeks, sometimes months after we do the podcast. So, but we do drop them daily. So if you are a person that likes to continually go to a channel every day, like I do for some channels, like we're just looking at some of our YouTube recap stuff, we got you. But with that stuff out the way, before we get into the actual content / the topics for today, like we like to do at the beginning of most of our podcasts, do we have any warm reviews or any content recommendations this week? That can range from a movie we saw, a show we've been watching, a book, a play. So everybody out this afternoon, so that's this morning, that are going to travel into New York to watch a play. Yeah, a place you might travel to, a new restaurant, new food you might have tried, a comic book, a laundry list of things could be applicable. But yeah, any content recommendations or any warm reviews this week?
I'm gonna give a recommendation. Um, it's a little bit on the sillier side, but yesterday I went to Mystic, Connecticut for a bit of an outing with a couple friends, and went to the aquarium, Mystic Aquarium, which was definitely cool, but it wasn't as big as I remember, because I've been there before. It wasn't as big as I remembered.
Man,
The aquarium in Atlanta, which was much bigger and had much more to
the one
see.
in
But
Atlanta
either
is
way,
allegedly the biggest one in like the world. That's what they say.
okay, that makes sense. So I'm comparing to possibly the best aquarium in the world. But yeah, no, it was dope. But my recommendation, for dinner, we went to Mystic Pizza, which I've been there one time before, and It's it's just as great as I remember. Not only is the pizza like top tier, but for anybody that likes 80s nostalgia, it's pretty much like drenched in that. They constantly have the movie Mystic Pizza from the 80s like on repeat. It's volume off, but it's on repeat, as well as just a ton of memorabilia surrounding the place. Um, so I really like the feel of the restaurant itself, super quaint. Um, and yeah, the pizza is fire. I just recommend the regular cheese, but get extra cheese if you're, especially if you're a cheese fan. But but yeah, I highly recommend the restaurant. Just at least for give it one try if you're a pizza fan. So.
Mm.
Man, one, nothing wrong with recommending pizza. We love that around here. Two, I had some pizza last night myself. Two, that feeling you were talking about, I experienced that a lot in my adulthood, and it never stops feeling weird. Of like going to a place and it's just way smaller than you remember. It's like I, I'm I
Right.
almost like want to know what like if there's a specific word for that or a specific like piece of material or content that speaks to that. Because there's just so many places that I revisit when I visit as a kid, and I guess it just math. Obviously, when we're younger, we're smaller and things like nature. But there's it's just my eyes in my brain to kind of see things just differently. Like man, I used to be able to like feel if I could run all around here, but now like I take one step and I've seen the whole thing.
Yeah. Yep. 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 Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. I just thought it was a lot bigger. Basically, like, there's an outside area to the aquarium and then an inside area. And yeah, both of them. I remember there being so much more to them. But the inside is just like one essentially one large room. Um, of course it's divided up by the tanks and everything, but still it's basically one large room. And yeah, the outside has like probably three different large pool areas for the animals. I think it's like penguins, manatees, and seals, like sea lions and seals. I think that's just the three outside um animals that they have. So yeah, it's just not as big as I remember. Obviously cool to see the animals regardless, but yeah.
Got you. Dope. Glad you had a nice little pleasant outing. Is there anything else that we have?
Uh, I got a quick review slash recommendation. Not sure if y'all hip to this show yet, but Pluribus, few episodes ago, I believe it's up to 5 episodes now. It's on Apple, and it is written by the writer Vince Gilligan, who is the one who wrote Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Plus, I mean, he has some other previous works, but those are obviously his most well known. Fantastic writer. And I had no idea really what to expect going into the show because I purposely avoided the trailers and stuff, and it also was pretty vague about what it actually is about. So I don't want to spoil the whole plot of the show, but it's science fiction oriented and it is it's almost I don't want to say post-apocalyptic or what's the other phrase? Uh dystopian, but it has some of those elements, and that's all I really say about the plot without getting too deep into stuff. But I recommend going in blind. I will say that as far as like the pacing, it's slow, but I'm fine with that because typically his shows, Vince Gilligan shows, are the pacing can be slow, but it's very deliberate. Like it feels like every moment matters and it's not just padded for the sake of it. So the show might not be for you if that's not the type of vibe you enjoy. I personally do like it a lot. It's a very thought-provoking show. Like there's always scenarios and moments that I'm thinking about how I would approach it or how a main character would approach it differently. And I never really found myself bored with it despite the slow pacing. So again, very vague review, but I recommend going in blind, checking it out. Um, and the main actress, what's her name? Rita Seahorn, I think. She was in Better Call Saul. It's pretty fantastic. But yeah, again, show's called Pluribus.
Got you. Dope, dope. That'd be like a dope little sci-fi joint. Um, and then for myself, I have just a quick warm review. Well, I don't necessarily like coming out here and like dunking on things, but I recently saw what is the name of that series? That's movie. Dang, I should have pulled it up. What's the ones about the magicians? Now you see me? Is that it?
Movies?
Yeah.
Oh, now you. Oh,
Yeah. Now you see me.
Oh, now you see it.
I thought you were gonna come out here and say like Harry Potter or some shit. I can't lie.
Well, actually, I think Harry Potter's about sorcerers. Um. Yeah. Now you see me. Now you don't. Or now you see me by three. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a good movie reviewer, especially when it wasn't like amazing to me. But yeah, my main takeaways is one, the third one that I watched. They do a decent job at creating a movie that you can just go in and watch that one and not having to watch other ones. Although, like most of the, even those type of movies you or series, you definitely do want to watch the previous ones to kind of get a better understanding of the verse. Because there's you kind of don't really know the limits and standards. You just kind of know what the movie's showing that can happen. And other than that, I don't know. My main takeaways was one. Um, while the acting in particular, I found not to be like really up to par, especially with the actors that are in there. What I kind of gauge is, I think the acting, the way they're acting, the language is was intentionally like that because I think it was meant to. I think it's meant to be a more family friendly film, but I didn't really know that going in, so that's what also kind of caught me off. Yeah, it just seems a bit more. It just seems like you could bring children to it, and it's just kind of goofy. Like, and I don't really care about spoilers. I don't care if anyone does. But in the movie, you have these magicians, and I guess they're supposed to be have like a kind of super hero kind of complex to them, but they're literally able to fight off cops, just whole policemen. And I don't know, it was kind of sus. But oh yeah, and they also, and again, I kind of knew something's going in, but I don't know. It's just weird because there's that one magician movie that we saw when we were younger that maybe would be trash as well, but it kind of did it better for me. They do a lot of explaining how the trick was done, but I think they should actually scale some of that back. I think there should be some. I think there should be more mystique and stuff like that. But yeah, again, I don't necessarily favor doing it, but it is one thing that I consumed recently, and I think there is some good bits of it. And I think maybe again, if you watch the entire series, you will appreciate it a bit more. But we're not all here to give super positive reviews, so always keep that in mind. Is there anything else? All right.
Nothing from me.
Then, that being the case, let's get right into the topics. So I think I can. Actually, let me do this first.
Right.
Hopefully, the names are where they should be. And then let me go here. Yes, everything is working fine today. I'm gonna start locking some of this stuff. For all of the OBS users, you know what that means. Okay, so salute to Rap House TV. If I'm not mistaken, because y'all know me, I always shout out the person or the platform that posts stuff. But if I'm not mistaken, maybe not. Maybe I'll think about another account. But yeah, they salute to Rap House TV, all the same. So You were gonna say something else?
Sorry, I don't know how much salute they really deserve because apparently they were peddling some misinformation here.
Hey man,
But I'm just
nobody always gets to 100%, right? But you are indeed correct. But I'll just read the caption just for the sake of it. Amazon delivery driver is now facing backlash for not delivering on doorstep due to snow-filled driveway. So like mentioned, um, I'm pretty sure a lot of people across the country slash maybe across the world have experienced some level of snow. In some places, it definitely snowed a lot harder than others. So to tell you why they had to do a little shoveling recently. And salute to all the hardworking delivery mailmen, mailwomen that have to still deliver packages even through the snow. Let's look at what this particular delivery service driver how they dealt with some snow.
I'm not walking to your door. I'm not walking through snow. I don't know what type of hazard lies under the snow. You come to the edge of your driveway and pick up your package. If you know you're getting packages to your house, clear your driveways.
You got the cut off thumb. I do that.
After a corner of the aisle, turn left onto Lincoln Road.
So, for the audio only listeners, we were just kind of talking about giving context. That was also why I give a little context. I was thinking about it. So yeah, you heard the guy said if you got a lot of snow, especially if your driveway is fully covered, he's not walking. He ain't about to go through that snow and go through the door. And he listed out as it could be potentially even a safety hazard. You never know what's under snow. And then he proceeds to, which y'all give him some props for. He wraps the packages that he's going to deliver to this particular home in a plastic bag so they don't get wet, and plopped it right in that snow for the customer, for the homeowner to get at their own discretion. Um, Obviously, I don't know particularly where the backlash would have came from because he kind of fully articulated his rationales, almost like a PSA. Like this wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna do this and like this. I'm tired. Like people not doing. I'm just gonna do this for the sake of it. He's like, it's almost seems like a PSA that like delivery services themselves would have put out. Hey, if we're gonna be dropping off, can you please make sure the area is shoveled so we don't cause harm to the workers. But anyway, apparently they're receiving some backlash, and also again my apologies. I feel as if once we have a large audience, they're going to call me the context police. But just for some additional context, so people don't look at Amazon particularly crazy. There was like a community note that alluded to the fact that essentially wasn't even Amazon. It's like another delivery service like FedEx or something like that effect. But I don't think that changes anything in the grand scheme of things, especially since we're never here to focus totally on the video or subject at hand, or yes, the story at hand, more so the larger, broader subject. That being, is he right or wrong for this? What do y'all say? Let's start with you, Ace. I think you can sympathize with having to kind of be out in harsher conditions, if I recall some of your work history.
Yep. I can definitely sympathize, and I agree 100% with this. I don't see it really anything wrong with it. Like what he's saying makes complete sense. Like there can be hazards under the snow as well as that whole driveway could be icy, which I mean, if they did clear the driveway and the driveway was icy, I mean, yeah, I think regardless, like if the driveway is a hazard or um yeah, if the driveway is a hazard, I don't think Amazon workers should be expected to walk on the ice or the driveway, not only for their own safety, but like Amazon as a company shouldn't want them to do it either, because again, if they do get injured for some reason, they have to pay for it. So from all angles, I can see why he wouldn't want to do it. I could see why, if Amazon put this out as a statement, they wouldn't want it to be done. And you could say like, okay, well, if the driveway is potentially icy, like you could walk over the grass, but there could be a pool that you can't see. Like it's unlikely, but still, you don't know what's under the snow. So I don't I don't think I don't think they should be expected to walk up to the house. We have a similar situation. I don't know if Amazon has or a delivery service has ever tried to walk through snow before I've shoveled. I don't think it's ever happened. But if I saw a package on the end of my driveway, I'd be like, oh, yeah, makes sense. Like I
Oh,
need shovels. So
that's actually a good. That's actually a good point in question. Like, so you'd be 100% fine if a delivery service did this for your house if you didn't get shoveled.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Even if like our mailbox isn't shoveled out, I'm pretty sure they don't deliver the mail. Like we have to go get the mail. So, and I mean they're pretty lenient with it, but at the same time, like I know we have to be on top of it because again, if they can't pull over or whatever to put the mail in the mailbox, um, I don't expect them to subject themselves to danger in order to do that. So yeah, make complete sense to me.
Okay, that's not wrong with that. We like being on the side of the workers. You're a real actually, how can I say you're a real union guy, but I don't want to put that label on you. Uh, but obviously, kind of just thinking about both sides of things. I mean, at the end of the day, I think some of the um rebuttal would be like, well, I mean, this is a job you signed up for, and a part of your job is to deliver the package to the person's doorsteps. Like, I'm pretty sure somebody probably one of the like slogans for one of these places is like, we're delivering something to your doorstep, you know. And there's like the male men credence of like in rain, sleet, snow, like you gotta deliver your stuff. Like, the company, maybe the company should be the one equipping people with the proper PPE, the proper equipment so they can
Were they gonna
traverse.
shovel your driveway? Like no, this is no, no.
Yo, imagine.
And the way I
all
see it, like
all I'm saying is you're by doing that you're kind of putting in a position where people, we already know, especially in the colder winter seasons, around holiday seasons, people are real apt to be packaged pilgrim. What's a good alliteration?
over.
Pilligers. Yes, that too.
Mhm.
So you leaving in a nice wrap plastic bag on this, basically on the side of the road. I don't
Mhm.
know.
No, that does make sense, but I mean, so from the perspective of if Amazon is guaranteeing, for example, that your package should be delivered on the doorstep, then Amazon has to figure out how they're gonna approach this. Like if they think this guy needs to be fired, or not fired, but whatever, reprimanded, and they need to put out a statement that no, um, like all workers need to be delivering packages to the doorstep regardless of hazards, just in general, snow or whatever, then they should do that. Um, if they need to clarify that in hazardous conditions, the driver is just going to leave the package on wherever in a safe location, then they should do that. But as far as the worker himself, like I think I think he is doing the right thing in terms of protecting his own safety regardless of what the company wants him to do. Yeah, wants him to do. And if
Yeah.
he has to just acknowledge the risk that he might get fired for what he's doing. And maybe he shouldn't be self-reporting in this way, but yeah, I mean I agree with his decision from a um just from an understanding standpoint. Um there was one more thing I was going to say. Oh yeah. And people are going to have to shovel their driveway. So like
Some people don't shovel.
It's either he. I mean, yes, that's true. But they're or maybe not their shovel their driveway, but they're going to have to leave their house at some point. So like eventually they're going to get to the end of the driveway and be able to pick up their package. So it being there still gets them their package regardless, and kind of in my mind. There was one last thing you said about, forgot the last point. Oh, the pilfering.
Oh, yeah, people.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, like, I guess you just got to understand the risk. Like, if this is what you see as the position, and
Who has to understand the risk?
you're not in
The consumer?
the consumer.
I have to understand that if I order something, it might get stolen.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you do have to understand that, but also, if you see this and you know, and
Or when
or this is
I probably wouldn't have that assumption if it's being put on my porch.
Well, if you're that concerned about it, meet the delivery driver outside and you walk out to him and pick it up
The
then.
vast majority of packages that are delivered and received are not hand to hand. What are you talking about?
I know the vast majority aren't. I'm saying if it's really that much of a concern that someone's going to steal it, if you have the ability to, even though in theory, ideally, you shouldn't have to worry about it, but if you do, if I had 3 packages stolen because they're left outside and I'm getting the 4 packets delivered, I'm for damn sure not gonna just let it be left outside again, even though in theory I shouldn't have to worry about it, and go outside and meet the guy, which I know it's not typical, but if
if
it's
the driveway is unshoveled, you're probably at home. So
yeah.
I don't know, but that's not, or you could be not at home for a long duration of time. That could also be the thing.
So why are you getting a package delivered if you're concerned about it being stolen and you're not going to be there for a while to pick it up, even if it's going to be left on your porch?
Listen, man. All I know is when you leave the package at the end of right under the road, it increases the chance of it getting stolen. Nobody can deny that.
Yes,
I'll give you that. I'll give you
it's
that.
true.
I'll give you that. I will give you that.
I guess kind of trying to get a grasp of your feelings on it, but what about you, Ghost, real quick? Do you think delivery drivers will be justified in delivering packages in this manner? If people have a bunch of snow on their yard, in the driveway and such?
Yeah, I think it's perfectly justifiable. I mean, honestly, if it was me and if it was like a couple inches of snow, I probably would just walk carefully and drop it off. But for one, doing that for every single house that has snow on it is going to be a pain. And for two, if it is a little high and just concerns of ice, especially like I think the delivery driver in this case took the correct steps. He wrapped up the package. He didn't like toss it down or do anything crazy. He made a video recording exactly what he did because if there was going to be any negative blowback, I think he's fine. I don't think there's any concerns at all about what he did. And yeah, I don't think there's any room for anyone to get mad. I really don't.
Man, there's always room for people to get mad, and I could definitely see somebody saying, if those Amazon, if those FedEx, if those UPS drivers don't put on some goddamn snow boots and walk to my doorstep.
I don't know. They can think that all they want, but just because you think you're entitled to something doesn't mean you actually are. And that whole through rain, sleet, and snow thing, that's a U.S. Postal Service creed, but I don't think that's actually a legitimate job requirement.
True.
Yeah, I'm fine with this, to be honest. I'm perfectly fine with it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't think there's much to say. I think if you have a regular, decent semblance of like humanity, you're obviously fine with this type of the way this guy went about it, or this type of service interaction. Yeah, obviously, super salute to all the hardworking delivery drivers out there. Obviously, we all get packages. Some of us more frequent than others, but like they are literally some of the glue that holds the system that we have together. So I don't think any of us on here are gonna say anything else crazy. Super hot takes. One thing I will say is, what also I could imagine like a delivery driver standing up more, and I can't believe it. Like it's the meme from the cartoons. I've ever like see it in real life. I've literally seen like people have their dogs outside, and even if the dog is not going to go on full attack mode and attack the delivery driver, if I was one of these guys, if you have a dog outside and it's barking incessantly, like I'm not necessarily dealing with that. I'm like, I would be doing the same. You got a big, bold, mean-looking dog outside barking up a storm. I'm putting that package right here, and you can have the dog go get it. Since that dog want to be outside and active. People gotta train their dogs better. But that's just something I observed recently. Anyway, unless there's anything else, we can move on to the next. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. So, where do I even start with this? One, they were just going by the language of the trend, so don't get mad at us. To be honest, I feel as if even though I have used it and use it just to describe the way I interact with some circumstances, I feel this has gone a little too out of hand.
Airplane.
Yeah. I infamously raw dog my airplane rides where I don't sleep, I don't read. Although I do plan to start actually reading. I don't talk. I don't work. I sit. I look, and I patiently wait to arrive to my destination. But I've heard people apply that to like damn it everything, like raw dogging eating stuff, raw dogging work. And apparently there's a trend going on, raw dogging boredom. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but I actually want to talk about it. I heard about it like weeks back, or not heard about it, but saw it, and like, it's one of those things where like it's kind of I feel like people are just doing it ironically, they're doing something like to kind of get away from like social media and like the internet and attention, but they're also like I guess contributing into it. So this one user, data driven KT, I don't know if that's the actual person, but they posted themselves raw dogging boredom, which if anyone's not familiar with the term, it's effectively, and again my apologies, context please, but yada yada, it's effectively for 1 hour you just sit and don't do much of anything. Obviously it's just audio when the person actually doing it because there's no talking involved, but I guess just play that video and let's for ourselves examine what this looks like.
I think it looped already.
So, again, for audio listeners only, you just have this person sitting in what looks like a hallway or a room, and they are just literally doing not much of anything for an hour. Obviously, there is some movement and some fidgeting and some, I think if you had to just sit still for like literally for an hour, I think that might drive some people insane, but maybe as humans we should be able to do that. And specifically their reason for doing it, I'm not sure if this is everybody's reason for doing it. Specifically, their reason for doing it is kind of outlined in their caption. So they posted, "This is how this is how you rebuild your dopamine baseline. Boredom is the new superpower. Most people don't realize how fried their attention span really is. 1 hour with no phone, no music, no distractions, just you and your thoughts is like resistance training for the brain. Here's what happens when you do it regularly. Your dopamine system starts to reset. Focus and task initiation gets easier. Mental fatigue drops. Creativity and self-control go way up. And they say it's comfortable at first, but if you can sit with your boredom, you can do anything. Try 1 hour, no noise, no scroll, just stillness." So yeah, I also have pulled up an article around it because again, this is a trend that's really kind of I don't know if it's getting attention because it's a trend that's based in boredom is kind of like something that's kind of oxymoronic. But this article by Newsweek, I believe, it kind of goes into like the Gen Z Rawdogging Boredom trend actually fix your attention span. So this article actually kind of goes into whether this methodology really works. I won't read all of it at all, of course, but I definitely implore people check it out. But I mean, it kind of does give some not evidence. It's trying to give some examples and some people that have spoken on this particular topic. Specifically, scroll down, Ghost. As regards to can it fix your attention spans, we're all in a not all of us, but a lot of us do deal with the constant news and just information feeding into our brain damn near 20 plus hours a day. So can it help fix your attention span? Can diving into boredom actually fix your attention span? I suppose it could. Andres, that's the last name, Elpidoro, the author of The Anatomy of Boredom and writer and researcher at University of Louisville, told Newsweek over email, but it's not that simple. They said, noting that it would depend on whether one engages in an activity regularly and mindfully. So it seems like it's something you have to do consistently. A one-off event does not a skill make. Repetition training and is it habitation or habituation? Scroll down. All seem to me to be necessary for development of lasting and impactful capacities. And if you scroll down, there's another example. Wait, go down to the TikToker and play it. They said they're doing for 5 minutes.
Oh, the timer didn't go off though, so she just kept going. Probably.
Oh, got you. I guess it ended up being a lot longer, but I don't want to come to any conclusions. But if you can't sit still for 5 minutes, yeesh, that's kind of startling. Scroll down. Yeah, I don't want to read too much of this, but it is good. Always good to get some insight on whenever there's like some professionals that can speak on the topics that we're talking about. So we also have an Elizabeth H. Waybright, professor at Washington State University, told Newsweek over email that her first reaction to this trend was, "I'm all for it. The overall idea of sitting in boredom and doing nothing is really valuable for children as well as adults." Dang. Now, well, I say people should be able to do this for some amounts of time. I'll be kind of curious to actually ask you guys now, so I'm not just talking. How long do you guys think that somebody should be able to sit still and do nothing reasonably? Let's start with you, Ghost.
You said you say how long?
Yeah. 5 minutes, an hour, multiple hours, half an hour.
Literally nothing. Like you're not doing anything productive. Like you're not cleaning, you're not listening to anything. Just
Rawdogging Boredom. We've seen the examples.
Your ghost is struggling already.
Yeah, I mean, for this is something I 100% struggle with. I'd say like, okay. I guess there's a question, a caveat. Does like meditation count, or is it literally nothing?
I would say
Bro, you just saw the example. Do you need to see it again? Did you see that woman doing anything?
You just
I
can't
don't.
do
I mean,
anything with your body. Like you obviously can think, like, or or whatever. You
I
can
in my
meditate.
mind, sitting still, doing nothing, and meditation are kind of different. But I think 20 to 30 minutes is a reasonable expectation to do literally nothing. Beyond that, I think not only I know I certainly struggle with it. Not only would I struggle with it, I just think it's kind of pointless because there's a difference between cutting back on inundating yourself with a whole bunch of stuff, stimuli that you don't need, and doing nothing for the sake of doing nothing, and that's not productive. Especially if you're
Well,
not like
some of the stuff in
actively.
this article might say otherwise, but we'll get further
Ghost
into it.
there. I would think of it from the perspective of not necessarily that you're doing nothing productive, but if you weren't doing it, you also would be doing nothing productive, i.e., scrolling on social media, which is I would assume what these people would be
Uh,
doing if they weren't on, or if they weren't trying to do this boredom thing.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
that says
I
something.
guess that is
You're
an
not doing
interesting
you're not raw
distinction.
dogging boredom in lieu of having you have stuff to do. You're doing it in lieu of some of this scrolling or some of this other stuff that seems like it. We know for a fact it damages our mentality.
So that is a valid point. I'm yeah. I'm just thinking because technically, I mean, we've all sat in car rides as a kid, and there are certain car rides where there's like not any music playing. You're just sitting there looking out the window. Would that count?
Yeah, I mean, I think what Quest said as far as like what he does on planes, even I think that counts.
Yeah, it definitely counts.
Okay.
Although I
I'm just thinking, is there a distinction between you're in the process of doing something or going somewhere and you make the choice to not do anything, but you still have this like a goal in mind, like or an end destination,
yeah, I
versus
kind of
like if I'm sitting at home and I just decide, you know what, I'm doing nothing for 30 minutes. It feels different to me. I don't know why though.
I actually agree. I think it's a definitely adjacent, but I think intentionality um does a bit does differ it a bit.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Well, I mean, you could say that, but I think the intentionality can be there in both situations. Like, I would say if the intentionality is there, if you're on a car ride and you choose not to use your phone
Yeah, that's
or you
true.
choose not to, then it's the same thing. But you're well,
Maybe it's not different. Maybe there's just levels to it. Maybe because if you're in a car ride, unless you're literally like staring into like maybe the back of your seat, you could still be like really being engrossed with everything that you're passing by.
that's true, but
Is driving
people
a
would
car
still
equivalent to
say,
scrolling on social media?
no. I think people would still say, like, you could be absorbed in your surroundings, but if you're just bored, if you're just sitting and doing nothing, you could also be engrossed in your own thoughts, which I think can be just they can still be considered a boring activity from the outside, but and so they would like qualify in the same way, but at the same time, like your mind is engaged
Well, I think
in
that's what.
a
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say your mind is engaged and able to and not, I don't know, not be stimulated by um not be stimulated in like the dopamine gratification way that like social media stimulates it, or you know, whatever, um music, whatever,
Yeah, I definitely
would
understand what you're saying.
stimulate it.
Yeah, it's definitely a wide difference or a noticeable difference than when you're actually consuming things and that's impacting your brain. And I think some of this stuff that we'll read or get into will kind of get more further into it. But I think the kind of the premise is what some people would say is that like the way, unfortunately, or for better or for worse, a lot of people's minds are set up to even just kind of sit with your own thoughts and just kind of everything that encapsulates that. Most people can't even get to that point. Like If they were to sit
Right,
with
exactly.
if they were to sit with their own thoughts, they some people might experience some level of pain. I would argue. It's kind of like it's
Right.
kind of bad.
Yeah,
So
their
kind of
thought
just
would be, I'm bored. I don't want to do this. Like,
yeah,
get me out of this situation.
yeah. So kind of getting back to it, maybe it's may not so much different. It just kind of levels to it, like literally just sitting, not moving, maybe walking around to some extent. You're still like using your body to some extent. Again, maybe if you're driving in a not you driving, but if you're in a car that's driving, you're kind of absorbing like things that are going around you, planes, so on and so forth. Um, but yeah, but to ask you directly, and I was gonna ask, can you guys do it? But maybe your answer specifies whether you could do it or not. But what would you say is like a reasonable amount of time to do this trend is?
I mean, to be honest, I would say 10 minutes. Like,
Mm,
if you can do it for 10 minutes, if you can do it for 10 minutes, and especially if you can um do that consistently, like, I think that in and of itself can be helpful in terms of the way this is talking about, where you're able to start rebuilding your attention span. So yeah, even 10 minutes would be good.
yeah. I kind of want to ask you. Do you think most people could do that? But I think this kind of gets into that like generational thing, which kind of sucks. Um,
No way, yeah.
I wonder how kids, one day will. Well, I think with the way we raise kids, it can be a bit different. But I wonder how kids these days deal with like timeout. Like we all remember that timeout where it's like there's no TV, there's no nothing, and if depending on how, I guess we've never experienced them. I've never experienced that. Like I know you love books so much you can't even read.
Bro, that was the worst of the punishments because when I've had that happen to me multiple times because my parents knew how much I like reading, and when I got my books taken away and it was literally nothing in your room, that is the worst.
I mean, they didn't let you read the Bible?
I
That's
mean,
funny.
yeah, I think it was like the Bible and that's it. Which is like, I mean, you can read the Bible, but I'm not necessarily reading the Bible for the purpose of like I'm not reading the Bible like I'm reading like Lord of the Rings or something. A different intent behind it. But I do like the staying in the corner punishment, like go stand in the corner for an hour. I don't with that I guess that would kind of count, and that was a painful punishment,
Yeah.
but I'm sure we've all experienced that in some capacity.
Yeah, it's really can be challenging to really kind of tie because we already kind of made somebody they kind of already kind of alluded to the fact that it is like resistance training and like and we all know the impacts of like when we're weightlifting or when we're doing some type of strength training. If this really is 1 to 1, you could maybe you say like the pain quote unquote is comparable, but it's just weird to think about how that could actually like help you in some regards. But I guess to kind of further expound on that, again, I'll just read a little bit more. The overall idea of sitting and boarding with, go back up a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
The overall idea of sitting and boarding was really nothing valuable. Oh yeah, I actually read that some of that. However, she highlighted uh, one concern about the trend. Social media can often represent extremes and short-lived trends. She said, "I'm not sure we know how much of doing nothing is good enough to be beneficial. There might be a tipping point. Oh, interesting. Where doing nothing for the sake of social media isn't beneficial long term. For the sake of social media. And although a one-time reset might be helpful for a bit, it likely would be better to practice doing nothing on a regular basis." Wainwright said. Meanwhile, Heather C. Lynch, PhD, professor of psychological and brain sciences at Texas University, told Newsweek that there are probably benefits to learning to tolerate boredom and to reducing the habits of picking up phones and screens when bored. Lynch likened the trend to exposure therapies, when people are flooded with a stimulus that they have a phobia or fear about. Ooh. And similar to limitations with exposure therapy, Lynch said that there could be drawbacks to this trend. She instead suggested systematic desensitization. I kind of butchered that. My apologies. The idea is to start by learning to tolerate a little bit of feared stimulus while practicing to control. Oh, I understand what they're talking about now. So this is how people get over phobias. I see. And then gradually working your way up to a more fear stimuli. A similar approach to boredom seems like it would be more effective, Lynch said. Find an appropriate, find an approach to relaxation or mindfulness that works well for you, and then start with small periods of boredom or a task that you can find mindfully boring, gradually working your way up to longer periods or more boring experiences to build your tolerance. So yeah, it's really good to hear professionals kind of speak on this because yeah, I can definitely see somebody seeing the trend of like, oh, like do nothing for an hour and try to jump into that when that's probably not necessarily where you want to be. It probably is closer to something that you said, Ace, sort of like, do for 10, 20 minutes regularly, and then if need be, work your way up. And like we're talking about how there's levels to it, it seems like you don't necessarily have to 100% do nothing. It seems like it's a world in which you can do like a task that's relatively like not really engaging. It's just enough to have some muscle memory to it. Okay. So I mean, I guess based off what we're kind of looking at, and you know, ingesting, and maybe based off our own experiences, what's our general take on this on Rawdogging Boredom? Y'all for it? Would y'all recommend it? Would y'all implement it in y'all lives or y'all potential future kids' lives? Or do you think at the end of the day, you know, maybe you're pro, like just get stimulated 24/7, and maybe we'll evolve in something cooler if we continue to do that. What do you say?
Um, so the last year for me has been proof of this entire article as far as what we've read. I literally went through this process myself where I was like, I noticed that I was getting too caught up in like always having to have something playing in the background, whether it was
Mm,
a video, music, podcast, audiobook, something. And when I didn't have that, I was just always constantly having to put something on, regardless of what I was doing. And I thought to myself, like, why can't I be bored anymore? Like, not only did I used to be able to do it, but for thousands of years prior, this has been the state of humans. Like, you can just put on a podcast or whatever and listen to something. So I think I told you guys, like, I got this app to block YouTube, or not block YouTube, but like um it blocks like recommended videos and things like that. And then eventually I decided to just try meditating. So
mm,
like which is very similar to what this raw dogging boredom thing is. Whereas like that's why I said start with 10 minutes, because that's pretty much all I could do in the beginning was just start with 10 minutes of doing quote unquote nothing. There's a little bit more to it in terms of like the intentionality of what you're trying to focus on. But essentially it's the same thing. You're not allowing yourself to be um stimulated by any external stimuli. And you can apply it to doing an activity that you can seem to be um mindless or boring as well. But yeah, it's essentially the same thing. Like you're not allowing yourself to be motivated by stimuli. So yeah, I when I started doing it, like and started doing it relatively consistently, like first few days, I actually did see the extreme change they're saying with um how they were saying like when you start with like a shock therapy or something like that, you can you can notice uh, uh um an extreme difference in whatever the person is afraid of or trying to get over. Like you can notice an extreme difference in their mind activity or whatever. And I noticed that my focus after I started doing it consistently for the first few days, it like skyrocketed. And it was
mm,
probably the same way for like a month or so, but I got a little, and I started to meditate more too, so bumped it up to like 30 minutes a day. But um but as I fell off, because just generally I'm bad at staying consistent with anything, I did notice it start to decline. And then I don't feel like I've gotten to that high of like focus again. But I've still tried to incorporate incorporate like meditation in more of a consistent way to at least get back to, or at least maintain a better standard than I had, say, last year. So yeah, like pretty much everything the article has said up to this point, I can completely agree with. And yeah, I mean, the only other thing I would potentially recommend is like, instead of just quote unquote raw dogging boredom and not having a systematic way to do it, like I would recommend looking into actual meditation and seeing what that entails. Because I do think there can be more benefits than just like the focus, quote unquote, getting a bit your attention span back. Um, and really recommend a book like Mindfulness in Plain English. Um, was the book I read to your idea of that.
Nice. Nice. Thank you for the recommendation on that topic as well. Nice, and it's great that we have some actual real world experience with this type of like system that the topic is talking about. It seems like it actually does work. Like we have a testament here, or testimony here, so that's dope to hear. The only one thing that kind of comes out of my mind, and what and all the things you said is, well, if it helps in the end, there's really nothing to talk about. But you kind of mentioned how like how people in the past have been able to do this kind of thing, and
Hmm.
it's not issuing at all. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you're aware, but we have to do keep in mind people the type of lives that people lived in the past are just drastically different. Like the things that we do for work, the way in which we worked, how much we stay inside, a lot of that's just different. Obviously, there probably was a lot more stillness back then, but there's a lot more movement as well. A lot more things that are dynamic.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, that's super dope to hear. And obviously, everything you're saying does map. I think if we do just start to take our mind away from having consuming information, I think we can definitely put ourselves in a position where we're more focused, where we can actually hold on to our attention. Um,
Yeah, real quick to that last point, like um, the my mentality was more so, well, if I for some reason didn't have my phone, or like, I don't know, lose everything, like am I gonna go crazy because I can't
yeah,
stimulate myself anymore with all these things? So that was more so like where I was coming.
yeah, yeah. I think you. I mean, not we're not at moral stories yet, but definitely one thing people should take away is that like you got to take a break away from consumption of like things that stimulate your mind. And the largest thing in this day and age that is like having access to the internet. Um, but what about you, Ghost? What do you make of this trend, this system? Do you think it can help? Would you recommend it? Would you implement it more? Would you recommend it to others, maybe people in your family?
Um, I don't have too much to add beyond what Ace said. Like, I think there are there can be definite benefits, even beyond like just cutting off the dopamine rushes, just learning to be more satisfied and uh complacent's not the word I'm looking for. More satisfied and willing to accept not being stimulated 24/7 with something going on in the background. You're always doing something, or something external is driving you forward. I think there is definitely good that can come of that. Um, I mean, I know for myself, I am guilty of always having like something, uh, needing something to focus on. and I don't know. I feel like I've kind of always been that way, but I don't know if it's something that maybe is amplified with the having a phone all the time and having access to all this stuff. Because I like how Ace had mentioned, like he kind of noticed that he isn't able to be bored. Like when I was younger, and this wasn't the olden days, obviously, but I didn't have like a smartphone until an older than typical age, and really my entertainment came from reading and I mean watching TV and stuff. But that's pretty much it. And when I was on punishment, which was a lot as a kid, I did dumb stuff. I mean, I would often like there would be long stretches, like hour-long stretches, where I really had nothing to do or nothing to focus on, and it was annoying then, but I feel like it would be pretty painful now that I've kind of gotten used to uh having accessibility to these external things. So I don't know. I think there's some value in like weaning yourself off, but at the same time, like outside of the dopamine rushes and all that, is there any tangible negative effect for this? Because I know you mentioned like it improve your focus, Ace, but I don't know. I'm just wondering
Is
like
it
is it worth it to like kind of put yourself through that difficulty and that torture? I don't want to say torture is dramatic, but
torture?
is it worth it to do it just for the sake of it? Or is there
Yeah,
any
yeah. To, like, I don't think there is a negative effect to it, which the article alludes to as well. Like, the only negative is if you're not consistent with it, then you kind of lose the benefit. But I don't think there's
I
any
mean,
negative to it.
the negative effect is while we should live lives in which we can sit with our stillness, like it's not necessarily like a favorable thing. Like if we could be consuming, if we could be learning, if we could be more productive. Not to say that I don't know who here believes in being like a max productivity lifestyle, but you could the body in a lot of cases wants to do more.
I I guess you can say it from a perspective of like if you're if you're meditating for hours on end throughout the day, then yeah, you're taking away time where you could be doing things that would be productive. Um that's the only but that's the only real thing. Like the meditation or the boredom, raw dogging boredom, however you want to put it, um itself, I don't think has negatives. Like the actual act of doing it, I don't think has negative. I think it pretty much just has positives, because the more you do it, like the I think the more benefits you see. So I've just focused on the focus aspect of it. And when I started, that was my only goal. Like I was just like, I just want to have better focus, and I literally got that. But also on top of that, like one thing I've noticed, which I think you could understand, is like me not having to constantly have something playing or constantly be stimulated or being distracted by these things too. I've noticed that it is a lot. It's helped me with like interactions with others, where if somebody's interrupting or not, it, in situations where somebody would be interrupting me from something I was watching or something I wanted to do, like I don't react. I react much less um in a being annoyed way or whatever, because I my attention isn't constantly needing to be grabbed by something that I'm entertained by. So that's been another thing, like just in general, increasing my like, I don't know, tolerance for um uh or not necessarily tolerance, but like uh embracing being in the moment as opposed to and interacting with others, as opposed to again constantly needing something that I want to I want to be entertained by, I want to be doing, even like playing video games or whatever. All of it kind of factors in.
Yeah.
So yeah,
so with those positive benefits that you mentioned, like what is the distinction? Like, or is there a noticeable distinction between like you sitting there and not having anything going on for like a half hour, let's say, versus
Yeah.
you're in the same exact position except you have music playing? What tangible difference does that make? Because in my mind, it wouldn't really be one, but um, I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, like, I think you can approach activities in the same way, and it more so comes down to the what do you call it, the intentionality of it. So like, because in the past, like, just thinking of it from my perspective, I don't really listen to music, or I never really listened to music like that, where I would just music would be the only thing that I would be doing, that I would be
Yeah,
engaged in. Like
that's like some high
it
school
would be
shit where you're
something.
just laying in your bed listening to music or something like that.
Yeah. There would be something else going on, like that I was doing, playing video games or whatever. So if you are like specifically focused on, actually fully engaged in the activity that you're doing, I think that that's just as that can be just as valid as doing nothing. But the I think doing nothing is, because it's like a more extreme version of it, it kind of forces you to it forces you to completely relinquish any external stimuli. So it's like kind of like the most extreme version of that intentionality that you can have. So like then when you go back to whatever, working or listening to music or whatever, like you know what it feels like to do that with intentionality, as opposed to like every minute your mind thinks or jumps to, oh, I want to listen to this song while you're working or whatever. Or even if you're listening to music, oh, I want to go to this album. Like you can still get more of, I mean, the focus is kind of the is the benefit of that. And um it's it is, yeah, it's what you get after, um when you practice like the just literally doing nothing. So
Hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I suppose it does.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
and I mean, just one last thing I will say is like with the that kind of gets to like the quote unquote purpose of meditation. It's not necessarily that the end goal is to be able to just sit and do nothing for hours on end. It's so that you can apply that mentality of being more intentional, more, single-minded and throughout your life. So meditation is called a practice because it's literally like the practice that you do to be able to apply that mentality to the rest of your life. But yeah, the book I recommended goes into much more detail, obviously.
Got you. Got you. Yeah. I mean, it seemed like by and large, there was not by and large. Let's see. For the most part, it seemed like there is some um credence to what um this article and what the trend is kind of speaking to us, both from personal experiences and kind of just understanding the dynamics of putting away things that are stimulating our brain and the impact that that can have for us. Um, yeah, it can definitely have some benefits if they want kind of getting to like actual takeaways. It seems like if you have at any point in your life felt like you are kind of like losing your attention span and sometimes you feel kind of aggy and just in your stillness, definitely something you should try. Definitely kind of ease yourself into it. Don't just try to jump in and do an hour. Just a couple minutes here and there, really taking away, um, and kind of build on top of that. One thing I wanted to add, I don't know if it's the last thing. One other thing I want to add from a person that also, I don't know. Ace seems like he has the ultimate. Like I'm gonna just do nothing strats, but from a person that does believe in definitely taking breaks from internet and things that grab your attention or that require your attention. Um, One other benefit, it in my experience, it can help with like patience. In the
Right.
sense,
Yep.
in the sense that uh, like if you're a person that can get easily provoked or like emotions can be stirred, and I don't know if it's just a me thing. It's not like you can understand what I'm putting down as well, Ace, but there's something about just like putting yourself in like I don't know if it's like the time factor because like when we're looking at that one homegirl, like the fact that you're kind of just sitting there for a time and you're kind of waiting on something, but eventually you get to a point where like you're kind of you can sit with that time. I think that's also like yeah, I'm just my patience just has increased over the years. When I have the mentality of okay, this is just gonna be a period where I'm not really hyper focused on anything right now.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, so yeah, obviously there can be multiple benefits, and it could probably impact different people differently. Um, Again, depending on how cooked your brain is, if you try this, you might feel some level of agony starting off. But I think most people would generally agree that um, you should be able to sit in stillness for a period of time. Um, and going back to the attention span aspect, the particular part of the article that we're looking at. Again, I would definitely recommend everyone read this article on your own time. Another reason why this is because such a recommended thing is because um, it speaks about. I'll just read this last part. It's well documented that attention spans are declining rapidly. Gloria Marked, a psychologist at the University of California, my apologies, Irvine, told the Speaking of Psychology podcast that an average attention span has dramatically decreased in recent years. Back in 2004, we found average attention span on any screen to be 2.5 minutes, he said. Around 2012, it dropped to 75 seconds. In the last few years, it's about 47 seconds, and the median is just 40 seconds. So like to kind of paint a picture of like the fact that it's just plummeting. Like you tell somebody something and in the next minute they're completely on to the next thing. They don't even remember you or what you just said. So if you don't want to be in that box of you can't even remember the conversations or the things that you're consuming, you're just always on to the next thing, definitely recommend you sit with your stillness, do a little rot, you do a little boredom little boredom tasting. um
Yep.
But and I'm sure this will be something that we kind of bump into again because I feel like this is just the kind of the introduction of this, but there's probably going to be some crazy developments with this trend. But for now, unless there's anything else, we can move on to the next topic. Can't really make this much bigger. Zoom in just a bit. Yeah. Okay, so we are technically getting a little past it because I think they announced Grammys like weeks ago at this point, like yeah, early November. But it's still relatively Grammy seasons, and for some reason or another, even though again I think we're all on record of saying not that we necessarily hold it to like some momentous um honor, I think we all can understand like it's the effectively the biggest thing in music to win the award or accomplishment of a Grammy. And a lot of artists that we do generally respect, consume, enjoy end up being Grammy noms and Grammy winners in some cases. And I think it's just kind of interesting to see what in the world of music is, the industry feels is it's super top tier. So we traditionally just kind of go through some of the Grammy noms. We definitely don't go through everything. We're not necessarily interested in everything, and even some of the stuff that we go through is not necessarily interesting. But it's always nice to go through. It's always interesting to go through some of the stuff, have our little predictions, and go about our lives. So hopefully it doesn't take too long. Apologies in advance because I didn't necessarily pre-select the Grammy noms that we probably will look over, but we'll just kind of scroll down. I believe all the nomination lists are on this particular page, so we'll just kind of go to our predictions and keep it pushing. So keep scrolling down. Let's keep going. Okay. Record of the year. And salute to, I mean, this is the Grammys page, so it kind of gets into some of the definition of what these things, but I guess scroll down a little bit more so we see all of it on one page. I guess you have to actually, holy moly, there's a lot of them. Okay, so I'll just read them out. We'll just go down. So, we got a Bad Bunny record, DTMF. We got a Sabrina Carpenter record. I see Sabrina Carpenter all over my timeline. I don't even know if I can name a Sabrina Carpenter record before I looked at this, but they're all on my timeline, just saying something. With Manchild, Doechii with Anxiety.
I cannot believe this song got fucking nominated.
What do you mean? It's Doechii. Billie Eilish, Wildflower. Lady Gaga, Abracadabra. Kendrick Lamar, salute to Kendrick with the Luther record. Ironically, that was one of the few records on that GNX that I really thoroughly liked, and it was because of the SZA vocals.
Great one. Yeah.
Chaplin Roan with The Subway, and Rose featuring Bruno Mars with ATP or APT. My apologies. From what y'all are familiar with, what record would you pick? I'm going with Kendrick. No, actually, Kendrick is the record I like the most, but obviously, I don't know. Again, I keep seeing Sabrina Carpenter all over my timeline, so I'm going with her. What about you, Ace? You already know I'm gonna say the M word.
You're on mute.
Sorry. Can you scroll back up the first few? Okay, yeah, I'll go with the Sabrina Carpenter Manchild. Pretty good track.
All right, I haven't even heard the song, but that's crazy.
Low key, this Bad Bunny track, I really enjoyed it.
Really?
And I'm not a huge Bad Bunny fan, so
I think Bad Bunny enjoyers and Sabrina Carpenter enjoyers on this platform. Interesting. We don't need a whole breakdown. We'll have much more to discuss once we get to like some of the rap albums. So what is this list? Sorry, I missed it.
Album of the year.
Okay, so this is probably the biggest one. So we got a Bad Bunny album, we got a Justin Bieber album, we got a Sabrina Carpenter album, we got a Clips album for album of the year in all categories.
That's
Holy moly. We got
Wow.
a Lady Gaga album. We got Kendrick Lamar. We have Leon Thomas.
What was this year? Am I insane?
I think some of these were end of last year.
Yeah, this
has
has
was last year.
If you drop it at the end of 2024, it travels on to the next one.
He dropped this September of 2024, and they carried it over. That's insane. But
it wasn't.
I mean, it's a great album.
And then the Tyler album.
Wasn't this one 2020? Oh, yeah, this was 2024 as well. Dog.
As we just established, if it's at the latter end of 2024, it'll carry on to the next year. This is tough, man. Obviously, you know my answer. I want Clips to win, and if they don't win this, they'll probably win the hip hop one. But who do I realistically think will win? I feel as if everyone has heard the Leon Thomas joint, but I don't know. It's kind of R&B, so I don't know if everyone's gonna rock with it. Go up. The Justin Bieber one was big. What's y'all pick? I don't need to be wishy-washy. What's y'all pick?
All right. The one I want to win is Leon Thomas, even though it dropped 2024. What I think will actually win, I think it'll be the Bad Bunny, to be honest. I think that one will win.
Yeah, I think the Bad Bunny will win. Full disclosure, I haven't listened to it. To be honest, I want the Swag to win, though. Justin Bieber killed it.
I feel something about that Justin Bieber, the way he's been moving and grooving. I feel as if he could win. Let Bad Bunny have the Super Bowl thing and let Justin Bieber win that. Okay, Song of the Year. To not be mistaken with Record of the Year. But you'll see some of the same records. Abracadabra, Doechii.
I think the only new one is Golden somehow. I think that is the only new track here.
Gotcha.
So,
So we don't care if they're gonna have
Golden though. A golden.
come on, dog,
Yes.
bro. All right,
Yes,
let's move on. I'm not
100%.
gonna get into a whole
best
freaking
new
K-pop
artists.
team,
We have Olivia Dean. We have
which is insane. She's not new, but
Yeah.
yeah, sorry.
Cat's Eye. We have the Marias.
The
we
Marias
have,
is not new either.
Addison Rae. We have
Somber is certainly not new.
Leon Thomas, Alex Warren,
LOL.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Lola Young. Yeah, to call it a lot of these artists new is almost disrespectful. But
It should really just be breakout.
But obviously,
artists.
and I'm not familiar with some of these folks. I'm going Leon. Who y'all got?
Give me my girl Olivia Dean, who I actually brought a track for a track for today. Funny enough, even though she's not new, but yeah.
I will go Olivia Dean as well. One of the homies recently put me on to her.
Nice.
Addison
Producer,
Rae's
UK
album,
R&B
so-
artists, I'm telling y'all.
You producer
I've been
of the year,
saying it.
non-classical. Are we gonna know any of these folks?
I kind of want to skip through all this shit. Dan Arbach, Circuit, Dijon.
John.
Okay, I know him.
Blake.
Who's Blake Mills? Oh, really?
I know Soundwave.
The one who collabed with
Japanese,
Pino Palladino. That's insane. Wow. And Soundwave. That's interesting. Interesting.
Scroll back up because I want to see who these collaborators were.
You gotta read them out loud if you're gonna look.
I would go Dijon.
Well,
This is fucking Justin Bieber.
yeah,
album.
he made the Justin Bieber album. Is basically. What
I mean, he had his own album as well that was pretty popular, but
Fair enough.
give me
You go-
I
Blake Mills
cannot
seems
believe
pretty
Blake.
cool,
Give me
though.
Blake Mills. I cannot believe he's here. He was on Luke. He produced for Luke C. Eggers. What? Wow. This is a crazy catalog. What the hell?
Yeah, and Soundwave should be not on the list.
Soundwave is a
I
great producer, but
I actually agree with
No,
that.
yeah,
for
for
GNX,
for
nah.
GNX, hell fucking not. Even his usual stuff was great. but
Your
get him out
average
of here.
West Coast producer could make GNX. Songwriter of the year. I don't think that's another one we super care about, but obviously, a lot of writing does go.
Hold on,
with
hold
a lot
on.
of a lot of your favorite records.
Okay. I mean, we got to give the songwriters credit.
No, we don't. Let's keep pushing.
Yeah, I'm on Quest in this producer slander type way with this one.
So Tobias, I'll
Let's
give it to you,
see.
Tobias.
All right. If I gotta name someone, I'll name I don't know, Edgar, bro. I don't even know what the fuck this is, so I'll keep pushing.
Let's keep pushing. Best pop solo performance. We got Justin Bieber with Daisy, Sabrina Carpenter with Manchild, Lady Gaga with Disease, Chaplin Roan with The Subway, and Lola Young with Messy. I'm going Sabrina Carpenter. To the moon.
I'll go Justin Bieber.
I guess Justin Bieber. I don't really know any of these tracks that well, so
Next, we have best pop duo group performance. We have I don't know any of these folks except SZA.
this is from the Wicked
Tricks.
from K-pop Demon Hunters. This is that big K-pop group.
Oh, the K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes, this shit is
Yes.
this is easily don't even have a question.
When you know
Yes.
about something and you know it's big, even when you don't consume it, that's how you know it's gonna win. Yeah, the K-pop Demon Hunters. What's next? Best pop vocal album, Justin Bieber. Jesus, it's the Justin Bieber Sabrina Carpenter Award, ain't it? Miley Cyrus, Lady Gaga, and Teddy Swims going Sabrina.
No, the album.
Teddy
could have
Swims? Really? That's interesting.
been definitely swag.
Yeah, I think Swag got it.
Next we got
Interesting that Chase
dance. What's the interesting pop? But this is kind of getting away from my interest, unless y'all want.
Disclosure. Yeah, I mean we can keep
You know what?
Mhm.
I will
Who's
just
what?
say the Skrillex album was a disappointment.
Salute to Black Boy Max for being on it for being a Grammy nom though.
Shout out to Kate Trinata.
We got best dance pop. I don't think.
Yeah, I know who Ace is gonna co-sign here, but we'll keep it moving. Shout out Pink
Oh, that's
Panther.
Tate? Oh, yeah, my bad. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Next, we got
Matter of fact,
best.
she should be on this list. Sorry.
We got best dance / electronic. I think I'm just gonna
FK
let
Twigs,
FK
Fred
Twigs.
again, Pink
Although FK
Panthers.
Twigs is
I don't like any
maybe
of
not.
these. I'll go Fred again, I think. If I remember who that is correctly.
He's like a UK producer. Some of his stuff is
Well,
okay.
then I probably don't
not
even
a
know,
huge
actually.
fan of this stuff.
Okay,
I don't
moving
like
right
this list
along, we got
next.
best remix recording. I don't care about remixes in this day and age. It's not the early 2000s, so I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh, here's where I was starting
Raw.
to look. So check this out. In the best rock performance, we have what record did I say? Hey, earlier this year, Ace. Hey, even though Linkin Park, I don't know if I'm feeling everything. This one record is a banger, undisputable, and look at where it got it. Yes, but let me start in order. It got there's a Emil. I don't know how to say that. And the Sniffers, Linkin Park with the Emptiness Machine, Turnstile, Haley Williams, and Youngblood. Salute to Haley Williams. I really will always be a supporter of them. But Linkin Park, that record is just that record is it's gonna be like a classic alternative record one day. Just to be clear.
I don't recall that one. I'll just take your word for it and co-sign the Linkin Park. I'll have to listen to it.
Yeah, that wasn't my my favorite track on the album, but it definitely, I hope it wins.
Next we got best metal performance. Sleep
Yeah.
Token. I'm gonna go listen to that. I'm gonna play on that record right as we speak. I'm gonna play that right after. I never heard
I
of
don't
that.
know any
What
of
is
these.
Sleep Token?
I know none of these, so
I know I don't like Dream Theater that much, and I don't like Sleep Token that much. So, Spirit Box, I think I've heard of them, and I don't have negative associations. So,
Best rock song we have Trent Reznor.
yeah,
Present.
no, none of this.
Oh, Nine Inch
That's
Nails. Let me just look at
that's
this.
9 Inch Nails.
Oh,
Yeah.
another Sleep Token. Haley Williams, Turnstile, and Youngblood. I'm going with Sleep Token. That's another record I gotta check out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure, I don't know any of these.
Best rock album.
I was surprised there was no
Deftones.
Deftones.
Haim, Linkin Park, Turnstile, Youngblood. Who do y'all got?
I'm gonna have to go Linkin Park, and that's not really that doesn't say bode well for this list.
Same.
I guess
I-
Deftones. I haven't fully listened to this album, but I haven't listened to the other ones enough. So
I did hear a decent record off the Haim or whatever album.
I really don't like Haim for whatever reason.
Best alternative music performance, we got Bon Iver, The Cure. We don't care. Sorry. Goes to Haley
Hold
Williams.
up, The
I care
Cure?
about this. I care about this more than the Rock. I think this Bon Iver track was kind of mid. The Cure.
I think
I
The
know they dropped.
Cure, I think
so
I
it's
heard
pretty
that.
good.
Yeah. I think The Cure.
Yeah, I don't know well enough, but I'll check it out. The Cure. Go
Best
with that.
alternative album, Bon Iver, The Cure,
Oliver.
Tyler, the Creator.
Get
What
this shit the fuck out of here, bro.
Wet Leg
I hate this
and
album's
Haley Williams.
dog shit.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Haley
Oh,
Williams
wait, no.
exclusive. I don't know. Shouldn't that be some Paramore activity? I don't know. I really don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess Haley Williams I don't know well enough.
All right, get into the R&B rap and spoken poetry. What? We got best R&B performance with Bieber, Chris Brown, Kalani, Leon Thomas. Oh, this is a performance. And Summer Walker.
Oh, give it to Leon
Yeah,
Thomas.
obviously.
Yes, we don't have to discuss that.
Best traditional
UConn.
R&B performance. Oh, you said hold on, Nace?
No, I said UConn.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Maybe I don't know what traditional. I mean, I guess it's just for new vocal or instrument traditional R&B recording. I don't know how SZA's in the same category with like Duran Bernard, but I'm going Leon Thomas.
You know is I feel very stupid for not realizing this, but I didn't know that Lala Hathaway was Donny Hathaway's daughter somehow. It should have been obvious, but I found that out pretty recently and was surprised. But Yeah, Leon Thomas.
Next we have Best R&B Song with Folded by Kalani, Heart of a Woman by Summer Walker, It Depends by Chris Brown, Overqualified by Durand, and Yes It Is by Leon Thomas.
I don't think I know any of these
Folded.
besides Leon Thomas.
Folded.
I am going Leon Thomas. Next we have Best
Progressive
R&B.
R&B.
We have Don't Care. What we have.
No, we gotta give Bilal and Destin Conrad and Terrence Martin.
So who is
Give 'em
it?
some props. I'm surprised this Destin Conrad album's on here. Low key, I think it might take it because I love Bilal, but this album was kind of mid. I can't lie. I think Destin Conrad.
Next, we move through all the fluff and just the definitive best R&B album. Giveon with Beloved, Coco Jones with Why Not More, Leah? Who is that?
LaDC.
DC.
With The Crown, Tiana Taylor with Escape Room, and Leon
Yes,
Thomas.
let's. We know. We all know.
Is Beloved actually not gonna get it though? Like Giveon, I feel like Giveon.
Man,
I don't. Giveon is.
If this was like a Olympic type thing, I think you would get third. I feel like people are gonna rock with Coco Jones sooner than that. No offense.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I kind of don't like when artists are in like every category because like now it's just gonna be the Leon Thomas suite. But he definitely deserves. He had just by and large a better year than any of these other artists. But,
even though technically this is last year, but yeah.
Going on to rap, a real rap podcast. We got Cardi B Outside, Chains and Whips, Clips, which you already know my answer, but I kind of have to be realistic. It's up against Doechii with Anxiety. That is
Get this dog shit track out of here,
That
bro.
is even barely a rap record. TV Off, Kendrick,
Garbage.
and Tyler the Creator with Darling I. Chips and
Trash.
Chips
Yes,
and Wayne.
easily.
Chains and Whips.
Absolutely destroys every other track.
When I was looking at this list, I really want that to
What
win.
the hell? I'm sorry, I just listened to that Anxiety real quick. I didn't know.
You never heard Anxiety?
You haven't heard that?
No, and I'm quite pissed that I
You
just
heard it. You just need to put two and two
You
together.
definitely
absolutely not. If I heard it, I
that-
would have immediately thought, "Oh, it's where she did over Gautier's."
That's
like I'd never heard it.
That record is the definition of you can walk outside and hear that record.
Yes.
That record has been.
I don't be outside.
Popular.
I literally don't be outside.
Apparently not. But
It's
yeah,
probably the best. It's probably if you were to pull up the Spotify listenership, it's probably the highest listening record out of all.
I'm
these.
shocked. I'm
But,
shocked.
yeah.
That
But I really want if Clips win this particular category, you got to give the Grammy some level of credit. I'm just to be honest with you.
Cardi B
I mean,
again.
spoiler
I don't
alert,
be
but
outside,
the
so
rap
it's
album
pretty
this
shit.
year kind of fire. But yeah, Chains and Whips should win. They're probably gonna fucking give it to Kendrick for this shit. But
Hell no, Kendrick's not. I think Cardi would be Kendrick.
people love TV Off, man.
If we were to honestly rank this, it would be Kendrick would be fourth. Honestly.
Yeah. I'm still pissed that Kendrick had his best verse in like 5 years on someone else's project, but I'm keep it
Best
pushing.
melodic rap performance. We got Proud of Me.
Friday. Oh, snap.
Meek is on that record. I forget. I must forget his verse. Wholeheartedly, JID. Salute to JID. Grammy nom. Kendrick with the Luther record. Terrence Martin with the Mage record, and Party Next Door and Drake with Somebody Loves Me.
Yeah, it's there.
Isn't there a bigger record on that Party Next Door, right? With the Drake thing?
And I don't know. I didn't listen to it enough to really say.
There's a bigger record on there, but anyway, Luther probably won that. Best rap song, okay. Again,
Get Anxiety the fuck out of here.
Doechii, we have Birds Don't Sing, Clips, we have
Sticky. Ugh.
Okay.
The Tyler track.
Tyler
is getting sticky. Yeah, no.
Gross. TGIF, Glorilla, and TV Off. TV Off can win this one, but it's probably gonna be.
I think it's gonna be Sticky that wins it.
Hell no. Anxiety would win if it's gonna be the most trendy.
Nah, I'm telling you, dog. That song was big. That song was big. I think it's gonna be Sticky.
I think Doechii.
But this is what I'm actually very interested in.
I think Doechii should win some award for that record.
I don't. Why?
Guys, it's
It was
the
popular?
biggest record of the year. What are we on?
Just because it's popular doesn't mean it was fucking good.
Well, while we understand that premise, why do you think it's popular? It's because it catches. You know what song? You know what song I've been thinking about recently, which it's even more so than me acknowledging that's a really good song. It really, I think we need to look into the science of repetition, because I've been thinking about that song, that Travis Scott record, Fiend.
Fiend.
Yeah, we got. Somebody have to do somebody have to do some deep research into the science of repetition. But anyway,
Hold up, I go Glorilla here.
Yeah, you guys are just. Not you guys are wrong. I just think.
Well, we'll see. I mean,
I think
don't be too quick now.
Doechii has to win one of these. That's just by and large what has to happen.
I suppose.
Next we have
right,
best
here we
rap
go.
album, the big one.
Here
Let
we
God
go.
Sort 'Em Out. Spoiler alert, one of my favorite albums of the year. Glorilla, Glorious. Glorilla did have a pretty phenomenal year. Can't lie. JID.
My
God
boy
does like ugly.
JID
Salute
got
to
the
JID.
nom.
Kendrick Lamar, GNX, and the Tyler Creator album.
Yeah.
You get less enthusiastic the more the further you go down. Let's hear what you got, Ace.
I go Clips. Yeah, I got sort them out.
Same. I really like, even though. All right, Kendrick. This Kendrick.
No. People, I think that as time has gone on this year, people are starting to wake up that this record was not it.
Yeah, even though it's Kendrick, I don't think that album has that Kendrick gold standard. So by that logic, ugh. I mean, I guess it's gonna be like, it would make sense if Glorilla wins.
No.
I want
Go with your heart. Go. I'm
I-
telling you,
I
Clips
want-
is gonna win.
I want Clips to win, and it would be dope if JID. I guess even the nomination for best rap album is enough.
Yeah, I don't think JD's gonna win, but I think Clips is going to win, and they probably deserve it. Even though I really did like the JD album.
Yeah. They definitely deserve it. I'm gonna be interested. We're gonna come back and revisit this. Spoken word. Snow.
Carlos Nino, what? Yeah, I'm gonna skip all this. I don't care that much.
And then jazz. For
Jazz.
all the jazz that we talk about would be dope if Wes was here. Let's see who we're familiar with. Let's see.
Chick Corea. Well, Chick Corea is dead, but I guess this is a
Samara
tribute or
Joy. We know
something.
Samara Joy.
Yeah, Samara Joy is. We know what Wes' stance would be. Emmanuel Wilkins, huh?
Yeah, so I'll go with Samara Joy.
Yeah, I think that's got it.
Best
Vocal
vocals,
jazz, yeah,
which
this
is
is gonna be
interesting.
Samara Joy.
Because, when you think of jazz, you don't really have focus on vocals, but best jazz instrumental. Jeez, it's getting late. Best jazz.
Brandon Marsalis, huh? Didn't Kamasi Washington drop? Oh no, I think that was last year actually.
I'm not actually too hyper familiar with any of these folks.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with any of these to be honest. I'm guessing maybe this one, Southern Nights. I don't know.
Best large jazz ensemble.
I know Christian McBride, no Sun Ra. Besides that, yeah.
Oh, actually. No, actually no. I was gonna say something. The Royal Academy of Music Jazz Orchestra sounds like something we've all bumped into. Maybe even on the educational front. Latin jazz. What the Ganima is that?
Yeah, let's start. I'm gonna start skipping through these. I don't know why Nat King Cole's on this. Alternative jazz. Okay, Rob Glass. Okay, Nate Smith. Okay, here we got some good ones here. I'm fairly familiar with these. Pop vocal, we kind of already
I don't know
went
anything
through
about
all the
that.
pop shit. Contemporary instrumental, blah.
Compare
No one
theater.
cares about musical
No.
theater. Country, no.
Hold up, country.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Nah.
assume that you're joking here. I'm skipping
Nah.
right past
Fine.
all
Can
this.
be country
Nah.
haters.
Nope.
Americana? I wonder
Nah.
if Ethel King got any. Yeah, keep going.
Bluegrass, traditional. This is the categories that they don't even play on TV. Folk.
Man, I wish that what's her name? I can't remember the one that collabed with Dale New Ross, and I wish she got a nom. Seems like she didn't.
I think we're about done here. To be honest.
Yeah, let's see if there's anything hidden, Latin pop, blah blah.
Latin pop? Hold up.
Wait, yeah, I'm surprised
Latin
that
rock.
Rosalia album. Did that
Oh,
not get any
yeah.
noms? What?
No, it must be too late. It must have been too late because that
Yeah,
don't make no sense.
it wouldn't have made sense if it didn't get
That
any
don't make no
noms.
sense. No.
Maybe it'll be there
I
next year.
actually don't know any Latin pop from this year. Global African.
Burna
Burna
Boy. Wasn't
Tyler?
he was what was the controversy? He was getting in trouble with something.
We're gonna talk about that.
Are you stuck?
That
Tyler,
sucks. I feel as if I would have been a supporter of Tyler, but I feel as if they don't really want people to support them.
What happened with that again? She said she's not black or
No,
she's black. What
I
happened?
think it was the whole thing with colored. I think it's being overblown because
Yeah,
people
it
don't understand
definitely
that South
is.
African culture is
Right,
different.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's the way, like, and again, I think the real thing is like maybe we should just I should just be more understanding of like some people don't even know, not necessarily even how to articulate themselves, but the thought in their mind mixed with like the level of how much they even care about something could result in how they answer something. So, but
Yeah. I think we've pretty much reached the end of everything we care about.
yeah, salute to everybody
Yeah,
that
also, there's probably another K-pop Demon Hunters nomination here. Any K-pop Demon Hunters, I'm rocking with. So
salute to people that have a large investment in the Grammys. It's definitely an accomplishment to get this far to where you were nominated or mentioned when we talk about Grammys. So we don't want to be dismissive of that. But by and large, we do have categories that we're way more interested in than others. So yeah, we will revisit when the Grammys awards are to happen, and we'll see if some of our predictions came to light. Other than that, if there's nothing else, we can move on.
Right. I believe we are now at the wrapped portion of the episode.
Did you delete the title thing?
Nah, I have it. It's just
oh, my bad.
yeah, this is what I was
Yeah,
asking
I'm
about
tripping,
earlier.
man.
Put it up just so everyone can see.
Oh, hold up. Let me
our nice
give me
hard
a
work.
second.
We made that all by ourselves. We get an A in computer design graphics. Well, it's just funny because if you look at the stream, it blends in with the background, so it's kind of hard to tell just on this screen alone. Anyway, so yeah, every year everyone always talks about their Spotify Wrapped, and even more so than Spotify Wrapped, somebody out there deserves so much credit because I feel as if this was ultimately the idea of like a singular person or persons. I know it's oxymoronic, but this was
Well, it's funny you say that because allegedly this was an idea of an actual intern like years ago, and she isn't with the company anymore, and she never got paid, but they took the idea, and she has like actual proof of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe I think we kind of quote that every year we do this, but maybe one year we'll start actually getting their name. But even more so than the fact that it became one of the biggest features that people look forward for Spotify. The fact that like almost every app where you consume content has this now. YouTube, Twitch. I'm pretty sure other streaming services have their own version. They just have to call
Discord.
I did peep that. Like there's so many streaming services and platforms that have their own version of it. And they all have to call it something different. Some people call it a recap. All different terminology for it. But this idea definitely came from like it's a singular person, and it really spawned something that culturally we kind of look into. So we're just kind of putting our own piece of our data and information into it, which is why I greatly enjoy looking at this. But we don't have everyone here. We just have uh Ace and Ghost Spotify rap. Typically, we have some other folks in the past. We even had some other family and friends join. So we'll continue to look into that, whether we want to continue to incorporate that in the future. Will be interesting to know
That's
other
what.
people. Other people
Have we
that
talked
affect-
about what you doing your iTunes rap before?
Does iTunes
Yeah, one.
I know Apple Music has a rap, but I don't think iTunes
I mean, yeah.
does.
Oh,
I
I don't know.
if
If it-
iTunes
But I
does
don't quest. You don't. I don't think you have Apple Music, right? Your iTunes.
Yeah, I just
Dude.
go straight to old school, paying my $9.99.
No,
That's
it's
pretty impressive.
respectable.
No, that's
It's
impressive.
respectable.
That's
You
I
super
think
impressive.
cool
I think
supporting the artist.
I think albums are a little bit more expensive than $9.99 these days, but it's neither here nor there. But if they did it, or if they ever do, I wouldn't mind doing that. Although it's gonna be like old stuff because I don't really listen to new stuff.
Gotta get that
listen-
Last FM
I
account
listen
going.
to all music from 2013. I'm sorry, but anyway, this has nothing to do with me. Yeah, if you feel compelled to share what how y'all Spotify raps was looking in the comments, definitely please do. But for now, let's just kind of go through what we got.
All right, Ace, I'll let you. I guess explain as I run through the video, and then you can.
Yeah, and pause because you're gonna have to pause.
3 minutes and 32 seconds. Might have to speed this up.
No, it'll go fast, but he'll have to pause.
I can always increase the playback speed, I guess. And
You don't have to go to ×2. You could have just went to point one.
Yeah, you could just do. You could just do one. To be honest, it'll go fast enough.
all right.
And then yeah, just pause when it
Just-
shows the number.
Is there a sound to it? You guys can record the sound.
There is, but do we want to get copy strikes?
Oh, it's actually just-
because it's music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spotify can't put copyright-free music behind it. Well,
I mean, I like the music that it plays in the background because it's the music you listen to throughout the year. But
Yeah. No.
for
sure.
our purposes,
fair enough. Apologies for everybody who doesn't like this. Listen to silence for a bit, but it seems like for Ace, he listened to 60,896 minutes of music. What happened to all that Rawdogging Boredom?
Well, if you see my trends from
yeah,
last year,
actually, it does track.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah, there was a decrease specifically for that reason. I would like to get lower, but it is what it is. Go to the
Oh,
next one.
I'm sorry.
I mean
pressed
that
space
actually
bar.
made sense, but it's fine.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We'll just do it in order. But
yeah.
Pretty impressive number. 300.
Pause. Yeah.
You can speak
So
to it.
I mean, there's not much to speak to. I guess I listened to that many genres. I don't remember how many I listened to last year, but that
I don't think
makes
they
sense to
might not
me.
have had it last year, unfortunately.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I think I do listen to a pretty wide variety. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, Dream Pop, as you will see based on my top artists, that will make sense. Art Pop, I'm kind of surprised by that one. I don't know who that would be defined by, since I don't listen to much like Grimes or FKA Twigs or anything like that. But it's still, well, I guess, pop in general. Breakcore, shout out to Ghost. And then rock, of course. Christian metal, that's gonna be.
No, you're gonna have to
all
explain
Norma
that.
Jean.
You
It's
listen,
all
you
Norma
listen to a
Jean.
lot of Christian metal, but you're trying to slander Sleep Token? Shame on you.
Norma Jean is considered Christian metal because of their lyrics, but they are what's it called? Not post rock, hardcore slash, I forget what the other name for their genre is, but They just say Christian metal because of lyrics. So I think that's a little bit deceptive.
Fair enough.
But yeah, you can go ahead.
I think this is kind of a
Oh
wild.
yeah, this is the new thing that people were talking about.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
actually
it's-
wild to say.
Wait.
Oh,
We're gonna have
yes.
no. We
Why
need to
did they
talk
say
about
that?
this for a second. Your listening age is 20.
Oh yeah.
I'll be
That's
curious to know how they come to
Very
this.
interesting. Oh, I know why it's 20. I think we'll get
Oh.
to we get to
You
your
know
top
Yeah, I
artists.
think
I
so.
know why.
Cause you listen to Bieber and shit.
Bieber, and that's
Yeah,
not even the main
yeah.
offender. This is
Yeah.
I'm still kind of curious to know how they
Let's
listen,
see
how
that.
they get to this, because like, so this means that we're to the point where we can calculate who the age range of a person to make music for.
Yeah, I'm assuming they just take like when you make your Spotify
The
account
average
and
of
put
like
your
who
age in.
most listens to
and then-
something.
Yeah, they probably have data just catalog all that.
That's still kind of
Yeah, and
That's-
they're probably selling all your data to whoever. But
nobody cares.
it
Nobody
is
cares
what it
about
is.
that. The scary part is now you can use that data to one make AI models, AI artists, and you can I could see a world in which like they use this data to like persuade artists to make a certain type of music for a certain type of demographic. But I don't know how you feel, Ace, that you are musically 20 years old.
I like it. I feel 20 musically.
Interesting enough, a lot of people were pissed because Spotify was calling them like 70 and 80 years old.
Yep. One of my sisters got 63.
So,
Damn. Based on what I'm trying to think of what would trigger that. Like,
I mean, it's gotta
I
be
mean,
just the
I know Wes is
music you listen to
probably
predominantly.
like friggin' 90.
Exactly.
'Cause, but I mean that's because he listens to like
if you're 60,
like
wait, if you're
60
if,
rock,
if you listen to 90s
jazz
stuff,
from-
they'll think you're 60.
No. She listened to like 70s stuff.
Oh,
That's interesting.
So that I guess do we have the comparison for that? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think they had it for every year, but
Okay.
maybe we can take a quick look and see if they have the song.
Yeah, but yeah, either way, I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
That actually
That's a song
doesn't
one.
seem
Not
like
a lot.
a lot of songs compared to your minutes. But I know how you.
Yeah,
listen.
because I listen to stuff on repeat. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, most people do.
Yeah, when we compare the years, it'll probably show the difference. Go ahead. Go ahead, or yeah, just let it play. This is like let you pick.
Oh, you actually did the.
All right, so that's my top one. Listen to 233 times. Makes sense. And then these are pauses.
Oh, was trying to pause it. There we go.
Yeah, so those are my top tracks. As you can see, I had Winter on repeat. The Hooky album was also a Winter / Hooky duo album, so that's why that was on repeat. And then Let's All Live Lane, I believe that was my top track for last year, so I still had it on repeat earlier this
Jesus.
year, and
It's winter,
might-
winter.
go back to it. Yeah. Yep, Winter is great. Yeah, go ahead.
Respect.
Let
I
it
want to look at
play.
your, the full thing, but that doesn't seem like a lot. Weirdly enough,
Yeah, it doesn't
but-
seem like a lot. Okay, yep, that makes sense. I really love that album. It's not from last year.
Wait, so the Winter album that you had 4 out of 5 tracks wasn't your? That's interesting.
I think it was 3.
It is pretty surprising. That is pretty surprising. And then there we go. Was it? So yeah, the Levada, and then Long Live the Chariot. That's a band that spawned off of Norma Jean. I listen to that when I'm working out. It's the most hype album ever. Think Later, Tate McRae. That's not even her album from this year. That's her previous album. But yeah, Tate McRae, I discovered her relatively recently, maybe late last year. But she makes the pop that is like it feels like it's made for me. Like the beats knock, like the The lyrics aren't that great, but they work. It's just great songwriting. Like, yeah, she's great. Both this album and her album from this year. That's what I was saying. I think it should have been nominated for something. But I think she only got one nomination. It wasn't even off the album. Um, but yeah, then Welcome to My Blue Sky, Mama, that an extremely good, like, kind of alternative rock album. Um, I went to see them this year as well. They're great in concert. And then Tears for Fears. Shout out to one of our homies for recommending that I go through Tears for Fears
Yeah, I remember you
discography.
sending that
Yep,
message like
yep,
months ago.
yes. And this album is freaking great. Um, Shout is obviously, the one that everybody knows, but the track right
Wait.
after it,
They are the ones who like they're not the shout that I'm thinking of.
yeah, they're the ones.
What? That's crazy. I was surprised they did Everybody Wants to Rule the World, but damn, they're kind of
Yes,
big
dude, they
then.
have a lot of
Yo,
a lot
I
of
might be
classics.
sleeping.
Yep.
Holy.
Um, so yeah, that album is obviously great. And then yeah, Shout is great, but also the track after it, The Working Hour, is maybe my favorite song from them. And it's up there. It's like one of the best songs ever. It's so freaking good. It has a saxophone solo. I don't even like saxophone that much, but it is so great. Yeah.
What's it called? That
The
song?
Working Hour.
Mm.
The Working Hour. It's the second track on the album.
Check it out. That's interesting. Oh God.
Okay.
Podcast.
Yep. Lots of podcasts. I feel like I did listen to a lot of. Oh well, I mean, there you go. Go Touch Grass. I think I've mentioned them during the podcast before. They were a discovery this
CNN.
year.
That's the surprise.
What? Ace, what?
What?
CNN?
You get your news
Yeah,
from Spotify?
So I can explain. So I think early this year / late last year, for some I was listening. I listen to BBC mostly when I want to hear the news because like I don't necessarily love getting the American perspective on even American politics. Like I like the detached nature of listening to BBC. But yeah, I started messing around and I don't remember how I stumbled across this show, but I found it to be pretty good listening for a while because um the host like it's basically a panel of essentially Republicans and Democrats that don't
What
really see
news-
eye to eye on anything. So
I
it's
guess for
mostly
audience.
constant arguing back and forth about almost every topic. And while it may sound like it's not really productive, I feel like the truth of most matters is kind of in the middle of or not necessarily always in the middle, but um being able to hear like two sides that are diametrically opposed on a given topic kind of gives you like both the extreme positive and like or extreme sides of the of a given matter. So I liked it in that way of even though I didn't necessarily feel like I was getting definitive opinions or like my opinion was necessarily being swayed to one side or the other on a lot of things. I feel like it does give a well-rounded um a well-rounded take on some of the like big hot button topics that popped up in American politics over the last year, especially given how divisive things are right now. So yeah, long uh, spiel. I haven't really listened to it that much recently, but I do think it's a decent show.
Yeah,
And then
podcast
yeah,
stuff, I mean, you don't need to have to over explain yourself because that is why a lot of people tune into debates because you hear different sides and you kind of can come to your own conclusion, or maybe we'll rock one
yeah,
more than the other.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
definitely in the same bag of like that's why I listen to debates, but would I do that for the fun of it? I don't know about that. And I like that. And I like
Yeah.
that you guys consume news because it always makes me think about that quote. Is it better to be uninformed or misinformed. uh,
True. But yeah, we can go
last
ahead.
thing,
Put the
I don't know
true
if there's more
crimes on
podcast
there.
thing.
This is gonna skip.
If if you can watch, because I'm just
Okay.
unaware. If you can watch podcasts on Spotify, like watch them, is there any reason why like one day Spotify won't be like another YouTube?
Not necessarily. They very well could try.
Especially, I don't they don't have streaming, do they? Live streaming?
I don't think so. Although they do have that thing where you can do the listening party ghost. I'm pretty sure that's a live stream if I remember correctly. But I
They
tuned
have
into
that.
Banks's one.
They have that jam feature. I don't know if that's for podcasts or for just like albums, but yeah, I guess it is a thing.
No, I'm talking about when an artist drops an album, sometimes they do a listening party thing.
Yeah. Yep, that is a thing.
But yeah, they do have something similar. It's just not as
Obviously,
widely spread for its use.
Spotify doesn't need any more ideas because they're already jokingly in the business of taking other people's ideas. But I'd actually recommend it and like can foresee they do some more live streaming integration because it's interesting. You especially in this day and age, and I called it from a way back time ago. You see like a sizable amount of artists live stream, and they're on like Twitch, and some of them are on like Kick, and while there can be a large amount of success, like salute to T Pain, he's been doing it for years, and he just continues to be well established on Twitch. Um, and I think most recently you can even find like Ice Spice streaming. It's so crazy. Somebody said like at this point the label is making artists live stream.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Uh, obviously, your exact numbers on Twitch, you shouldn't necessarily hyper focus on that. But I think artists could actually heavily thrive on an environment. Obviously, not everybody that uses Spotify is going to be interested in watching somebody's like day to day or whatever nonsense they got going on. But I think if you have a million monthly listeners, I think that audience is going to translate more easier than the Twitch audience, who, even though people are more into IRL content these days, if you can't sit down and do a desktop stream, no, I don't think people are gonna rock with you that much. And a lot of artists cannot.
Mm.
I'd actually consider getting Spotify if they did artist live streaming.
Interesting. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, we can keep going. 1296 artists. Again, I don't really have much context. Oh, I think this we will be able to compare. So I'll be curious.
If you use Spotify consistently, they should just show your data across multiple years when they do your rap.
Mm-hmm. Actually, this part you could probably fast forward.
Yeah.
So I listened to Winter the most.
Wow.
Did we see
That's dope.
Did we see them live or did you go?
I've seen them live, but I don't think. No, you weren't there. Nobody else.
3,333 minutes.
I'm gonna die.
Exactly. 0.004% global fan. That is impressive.
With these numbers, you could probably calculate how much revenue you've given them.
That's true. Probably not that much, but yeah, play it. I like this next feature. It shows you the leaderboard number.
I don't think you were definitely. I didn't have this because I think
this is also a good feature, and if they really want to promote, if they really want people on their platforms, they gotta just giving out a Spotify idea day. They gotta give awards for if you're in the top 25 listeners, like you got a free ticket to a concert or something.
That's true. That would be good. That would be smart. All of these artists we've talked about.
People just do bots and do nefarious BS, but so on and so forth.
Right, you could keep going.
Great as number 3 is crazy.
What the guy in mind?
Shout out Tay.
I was like, is that Ed?
That was
they do like they do like a thank you for their listeners or whatever.
Man, give me a personalized Ace. I appreciate you listening to my music. That's what they should. That's a prize they could do as well.
3% of this weird thing. I don't know what that was. What is this part? Okay, that's just the summary. Maybe I should have tried to expand
I don't
that,
think
but
they
yeah, we've seen it.
did. They give details on the genre? Maybe we missed it, but oh no, I think they did actually.
All right, so this thing, I don't know if we want to read through all this actually, but January 2nd, I had the most diverse day. I listened to a ton of stuff.
What's
This was
happening on that?
before. I don't know. This second must have been like the first day back from work, right? Or back to work. So I guess I was just trying to be in the zone.
157 tracks. Damn.
Powered by AI.
Oh yeah, I just saw that.
Biggest listening day. I listened to 167 tracks. A lot of Kate Bush. Shout out Kate Bush.
You remember what was going on that day?
Oh, that's the dream. No, maybe that's partially the art pop. Oh no, I don't remember at all.
That's the reason why I could see why they would do this, so you can kind of like get nostalgic of like what was happening that day. I bet there's somebody out there that has like a day where they were listening to nothing but Drake and The Weeknd and who's another sad artist sometimes. And then when they look back at it, they'll think, oh, that was like the day after I got broken up with. Sash.
I do remember that Somewhere Only We Know. I heard the song. Somebody covered it on a TikTok. Like it's on a TikTok ad, and the original song is great, but the cover was way better. And I took a long time to finally realize that like it wasn't a full cover. It was just a little snippet of somebody's like that somebody did on TikTok. So there's not even the full cover that exists, which kind of sucks. But yeah, I had that song on repeat for a long time.
This has nothing to do with nothing. But speaking of TikTok remixes, Ghost, you know about that stupid ass the orchestra version of Trap Queen?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm familiar.
I love that record.
That's hilarious. Biggest winter day. 257 tracks.
Wait. I'm sorry? 257 tracks in one day?
It must just be repeats. Or it must be including repeats. It has to be.
How the fuck is this possible? Unless these are like 1 minute long songs.
What are you doing that day?
Probably working again. And then this last one, March 1st. Oh, this is where I got into, or this is where I got deep into Go Touch Grass. Yeah, great podcast. Shout out Go Touch Grass.
Well, even though we don't actually put a lot of our, if not any of our content on Spotify, whenever we look at the podcast stuff, we gotta hope that one day that'll be us for somebody.
All right, I think that about does it.
So I wasn't super paying attention, but you guys did a video and slides. Is that what I'm interpreting?
Yeah, there are a couple slides we did for comparison's sake.
So
how do you know which year is either? Which is which?
We did them in
theory.
order. Theoretically, yeah.
Yeah, just take our word for it, guys. We did in order.
So yeah, I mean, you see a decrease. I didn't get back down to my 2022 number, but I don't remember what happened in 2022. Why it was so
2023?
Is it no? To this year. This year's for 2024. So
no, 2025.
Oh, my bad. I don't know why I thought it was 2024.
Oh, see what happened? You don't put the year on it?
Oh, I don't know why I thought this year was 2024.
We'll take this, and next year we'll make it more organized.
Yeah. So 2023. I don't remember why it was so low, but either way, maybe I tried to.
It was probably a trash year.
Mindfulness thing again. But yeah, so that's the decrease I was talking about. And then this is pretty much the same. It's decreased. It's been on a decrease from last year. Lowest in the last 4 years.
Which is interesting because that's how you know you did intentional effort. Because this year had probably some of the most music. Like every artist dropped.
Yeah, and I actually think I paid more attention to trying to get to it all, but also obviously not
Oh
having
man,
things
it's
as
gonna be.
much on
I know we
repeat.
say every year, but it's going to be a pain to listen to all albums.
All right, so that's it for me.
I believe that's it. So now my go round. I have the video.
I like how it's consistent. They're both about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Wait, did yours say your whole name, Ace? I don't remember that. Don't go.
Oh
back.
dang! Hey, doxing me.
I don't know,
All
that's
right, so
funny.
yeah, 45,000 minutes, which is 3/4 of Ace Tech about,
What happened to you this
which
year?
is actually a little more than last year. But
Mhm.
I listened to a lot in the beginning and the ends of the year, but not that much in the middle. But
All
476
genres.
genres, which
That tracks.
tracks top genres.
Mm-hmm.
So post rock, definitely number one. I did a deep dive on a lot of different post rock artists. Um, Last year was mostly Godspeed, and then Do Make Say Think, and then this year was like just really delving deep into the genre. Turn of hip hop, sounds about right. New jazz, also tracks, alt R&B, always a staple. And then I'm surprised indie made it in. I'm guessing it's less indie rock and more so just general indie stuff, but all pretty accurate.
You are an indie fan.
So what I'm gathering from this is that I'm twice as mature as Ace by listening.
Never,
But
man.
yeah,
I'll take
this
my 20.
this kind of tracks.
I
So
don't.
I'm not too surprised.
I don't know about that. If you're really into 2000s music, you should be in your 30s. I would say. Maybe they round out.
Well, if it's from the early 2000s, I guess the rationale is that if you were born in early 90, oh wait, actually, the late 80s, I guess, by the time the early 2000s rolled around, you're in your teen to early adult years and you're listening to the most music. I don't know.
There, yeah, a model for that. Needs a little work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeesh.
Wow.
No, this it's so
Wow.
weird how like you have so much more time listened than me, but I just listen to more tracks. It's just weird how differently we listen to music, but I think I didn't do my selecting. This is my list for the year. Continuum 10 was year track from last year, Knowledge Nephro, which is I believe my favorite track from that year, so I had it on repeat again. Amazing track. This is from like freaking 2004, whenever that album is, but love Do Makes Say Think so much in this track. This was a new artist I found. I think this was math rock that you weren't a fan of Ace, but I brought this one. Shout out to Neat Beats. This album I don't know if I've ever been happier at an album drop because I've been waiting for them to drop for like 10 years at this point. And I always get false flags because a lot of people fake have the name Neat Beats. So I wasn't expecting it to actually be them, but I was so happy when I heard this album. I remember exactly where I was. I listened to this track on like repeat for like 10 straight times. But yeah, and then Netanya, pretty typical.
51 times?
Wait, go back?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it?
I got some songs that I listen to 51 times a day.
Yeah, I'm not a music repeater. Like I'll have music like in my head, I repeat it, but I don't often just like back to back to back listen to it like that. I'll listen to it as a one off and that's pretty much it.
You guys would be scared if they did put out data like a rap for iTunes. There was one time I went to the gym and I listened to this one record for that entire session, and I was at the gym for like an hour 20.
I could never do that. Don't you get tired of the tracks? Just listen to him back
It got
to
to
back.
it got to the point where I'm trying to tire myself. I'm trying to get I don't want to keep listening to the song, so I gotta get it out, like not get it out my head, but I want to get it out my system, but it still bangs.
Damn. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, for me, I listened to a song like 3 times in a row, and I'm pretty much done for the time being. Top tracks, 232 albums. Didn't seem like a lot, to be honest, but maybe it's just counting front to back. So yeah, top albums of the year. This was also my top album from last year. Nala Sinefro, shout out to her. Floaty, this is that math rock album, extremely good. The neat, this is that album. Let's talk about the neat beats. This one from John Michael Anthony James. I wasn't expecting to love this album as much as I do, but because I've heard some stuff from them before and it was good, but I was really caught off guard. This was one of my favorite hip hop albums of the year. It was absolutely amazing. And the closest that I can remember an artist reminding me of like early Kanye. And then Days of Dr. Yenlo. Somehow I missed this in his discography, and I listened to it on repeat over and over, and it was fantastic. I think it's my top 3 for his discography. Yeah, this is what I was expecting. 5,200 artists,
Yeesh.
which is I think actually a little less than last year, but
2021.
yep. And I only like really got into 2021 and like skip all this in like the latter few months of the year, which is pretty surprising that they're here.
Look at the
Just
minutes
as-
again, real quick. Go back real quick.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't that high on like. I think you were like 5 times as high as me on your top artist, so that's just again how I listen to music. But I love this album so much; it's so good. It really is. Yeah, just as a post rock band, 2021, amazing breakcore. Again, this is like a very new development. I went through their entire discography, so I think that's why they're there. But yeah, fantastic. Do Make Say Think, post rock goats. LEG, another very new ad. Like only found out about him a couple months ago, but all this stuff is fantastic. And this club shit, I don't really care too much. I find peace through music, which I guess is somewhat accurate, but I don't know. This is an interesting. I don't listen. Oh yeah, actually no, yeah, I do listen to a lot of him.
Donnie Hathaway is funny.
Donnie Hathaway is so good.
Villanova.
Yeah.
I know we talked about them before.
I brought like I bring a track from them like every single album they drop. I love Villanova.
They did something interesting recently. I can't remember. Not
I've
recently.
been following them on TikTok because
In the
they be
past.
posting like random stuff, but Villanova is amazing.
It's
a pretty good
Surely
list,
they
man.
don't stream. There was something I was thinking of. Okay, I'll just let it go.
Is anything else? Oh yeah, this is just the general recap, and then the files. Well, actually, okay, yeah, they did Julia John on this.
New Year's Day, basic.
Oh, you know what? I think actually I have to get the reports from that. Yeah, Debussy, Worka, Austin Pearl. Yeah, I think is this the first time I listened to that Austin Pearl album? That's interesting. Dude, I cannot believe the Beatles are on this list because I do not remember listening to them. Wait, 170 tracks.
I'm
What
on
the
record.
hell?
The Beatles got one good record. Something about Eleanor.
Yeah, I'll one day I'll do a Beatles deep dive, but I do not remember what track I was listening to. All right, we get it. Most nostalgic day. Sly and the Family Stone. Clark Gable from Postal Service. Celeste Ocean, Nile Sinefra, of course, Car Seat Headrest. I'm surprised that didn't make the list. But yeah, this is pretty much what I would expect from a general listening day. My most repeat heavy day. Yeah, I think I was just on a Coleman Hawkins kick. John Mikel album.
Nice.
Post rock. Okay, yeah, this I actually remember this day specifically. But yeah, I was just listening to music all day and found out about this new artist. Two new artists actually. The Portuguese post rock band.
You had more things than me.
What's happening
Yeah,
in
I guess
November?
so.
What happened November 8th?
Okay, yes, here we go. Black Odyssey,
Black Odyssey.
Camp Low.
I gotta dig into their music.
I think I remember this day specifically as well. 2021. I can't remember. I think Niles is Breakcore, Donny Hathaway, Joy Crooks. Yep. I definitely remember this day. 234 tracks. Oh my god. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep, that is it.
130 artists in a day is crazy.
Yeah. So this is my. I'm not as consistent as
Wow.
minutes for the day, or minutes for the year. So
we just have to assume this is in order.
this is what I know. This one is in order. But yeah, I was super consistent the first 3 years. This year, a little over, but I anticipate listening to a lot more music this year. But I say that every year, so we'll see.
Yeah, that track this year was
When I say
so much content.
I'm assuming they're in order, I'm basically saying I'm assuming last year we put them in order, which
And
I don't have
I'm
any
almost
reason to doubt.
certain that we did last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also this isn't all of my YouTube listening stuff, but artists. I actually had less artists listen to this year, surprisingly, but the
Marginally.
consistency for these past 3 years is astounding.
You like
I guess I actually was more repeat heavy, slightly. I had more minutes and
Mhm.
less artists, but and we ain't got Wes here, so
Salute to Wes.
that pretty much does it.
Fair enough. Let me switch screens for a second, and then we can wrap that up. No pun intended. Okay, let me go here, I believe. Yes. Oh, it's looking a little laggy. Ooh, I think it's overloading a bit. Well, that just means it's time to end the podcast. But before we end the podcast, we have to try to do at the end of all the podcasts. What, if anything, are we looking forward to? Whether it be the near future, the long-term future. What is?
All right, you know what I'm looking forward to, and I'm gonna have to cop a plea here because I was just bashing it last week, bro, or whenever we did the last podcast. I don't think it was last week, but that new Avatar game. I was on record that I thought that shit looked like some Flash game
It
from
does.
the late 2000s. But bro, looking at the the gameplay, there's a few actual the professional fighting game players like that Maximilian dude, Justin Wong, a couple others that have just been showing gameplay, like all the different features.
They play all fighting games, by the way, just to be clear.
I do understand that, and I might be falling for the psyop, like they're just the Nickelodeon or whoever don't know who the developers are. They're low key paying these dudes to promote it, but I don't know. From what I see, like the gameplay, it looks extremely fun, even beyond the technical standpoint of because I'm not that deep into a lot of fighting games, but it looks very fun. It looks fast. And my concerns that it'd be Guilty Gear-esque with just you're sitting through a cutscene of combos or Marvel vs. Capcom does not seem to be that valid. It's a ton of work looks like it was put into it. And it honestly, the biggest drop for me is that it's very aerial movement based, and it reminds me a lot of Smash, which is always a plus. But it just looks so good, and like there's such cool hidden features. Like one of them, I think in Justin Wong's video, he mentioned that like if you do the elements with Korra, one of the playable characters, if you do the elements in order like water, earth, fire, air, it literally, like if you do it in game, it gives you an actual subtle boost to all your moves. And that's such a cool little feature because it's like you can tell they really care about the game. Sorry, about the show and the lore, and like there was real care and effort put into this. So I am gonna have to do 100% walk back. That game looks amazing, and I will be getting it and playing it.
Well,
Nice.
we're not here to shit on things that people are looking forward to. So, salute.
Told you so. Anyway, no, I'm just joking. Um, I don't know if I have one. The end of this year is looking pretty rough.
Ruh-roh.
Oh,
Let's see what I'm something to look forward to.
I mean, I guess it's gonna be a little get together next weekend, friends getting together. So
That's
I
hella
guess
something to
that.
look- It's hella something to look forward to. Even though
Yeah,
some people may
suppose.
have, including myself, may have different views on quote unquote end of the year holiday seasons. I think one of the most, one of the undeniable things is the amount of time we get to spend with family, friends, and community during this time. Um, and for myself, along with some of the what you mentioned, spending time with family, also spending time with y'all, and specifically regarding doing some of the end of year podcast stuff. If you, as you may or may not know, end of the year podcast, we don't just do topics. Actually, we kind of cut off the topics, and we actually have stuff. We actually have formats that I guess I'll turn my we're looking forward to into like also to on next time on. So our next podcast will probably be our end of the year review of every album, hip hop to be honest, that came out in the respective year. We know that not everyone's gonna listen to every album throughout the year, but so we'll do it for y'all. Listen to every hip hop adjacent album that came out, and we'll give our honest review. No BS. If you want to get a super honest take on an album, a nice mathematical breakdown, as you'll see our spreadsheet, tune into that. And then for our final podcast, which typically falls like that last weekend of the year, we just do our collective year and review all the content we consume, our favorite artists. So much more goes into a nice, well documented spreadsheet that we can't wait to show to y'all. But outside of that, also looking forward to is at the end of also at the end of the year / end of the month, Jump Festa, where they go over a lot of anime and Japan related news. I look forward to that, and I think I got some. Oh, I'm going out and probably eating with family later this evening, so I'm also looking forward to that.
Nice.
So, with all that being said, I think we're pretty much that. Unless we're forgetting anything, I don't think there's anything to walk back. We haven't done a rest in power in a while. Either nobody's been dying or we haven't been paying attention.
That is
Well, we've been missing some.
insane jinx. It's an insane jinx, by the way.
Niggas die every day. It'd be. I'm not putting death on nobody. Nobody's dying.
You guys remember the grandpa from Johnny Tsunami /
I remember the movie.
Shang Tsung from the original Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I did see that guy from Mortal Kombat did pass.
Yeah.
I don't know about his name on top of my head, so I can't fully give them.
Hiroyuki Tagawa. Hiroyuki Tagawa. Yeah.
I actually did see that. A lot of Mortal Kombat fans were giving their salutes and props. So yeah, definitely rest in power to them, and super condolences to their family.
Yeah.
Well
The grandpa role in Johnny Tsunami was classic. He was so cool.
Definitely a well established actor. But I guess for now, I guess I'll just come on here and say thank y'all for coming on here and doing this podcast thing. Super appreciate y'all putting together some of the Spotify stuff. We don't just come out here and talk. We do a little background pre-production material for y'all. And we all collectively on this podcast / platform thank all the listeners, the supporters, the likers, the subscribers, the people that just check out the channel, the commenters. One of our videos that we just put out got a couple of comments and just revealed to me that our community, which feels weird to say, apparently is filled with Arby's consumers. Which, hey man, I'm interested in going there myself, so I can't fault anybody. I almost want to turn into a group outing, but convince y'all to link up, much less eat Arby's. That might be endeavors for another lifetime. So yeah, and we hope that by listening to our podcast, that you might have gained a perspective, or you might have learned something new, like the fact that a lot of y'all would benefit from literally doing nothing. And I thought you wouldn't hear that today. You thought you wouldn't hear that today, rather. Or we just hope that you found it entertaining. And if none of that happened for you, then all we have to say to you is be warned and be filled. Thank you. You know,